Well, hello there. What's up, everybody? How's things going? Whew, sorry I wasn't on last night. Last night was I had some I had to talk to some friends about just kind of helping a couple friends of mine out in terms of investing, kind of talking through some ideas and things like that. I kind of gave them, I don't know if some of you remember the I don't know when it was, like maybe a month ago or something like that. We talked about investing on stream. I clipped it and I made a little YouTube video out of it. Kind of gave that same spiel. I hope it's right. I'm pretty sure. I mean, most people would say that's kind of the right way to invest. So, yeah, it was a couple hours, so I didn't get a chance to jump on. And then the puppy, he, had puppy issues. So, one of those nights. So I missed out last night, but we'll do a little office hours tonight, see what's going on. So, who's in the chat today? Mr. Chang, what's up? Jumping in on YouTube. YouTube has taken a big hit since I started on Twitch. So now Mr. Chang on YouTube. I see Arya and Ahana. What's up, guys, on YouTube? And then who else do we've got? T-Dub. Dead from tryouts. Oh, soccer tryouts were today? How'd they go? Hope they went well. Nathan, what's up? Oh, you left. All right, you'll be back later. Cool. Nate the Great. Doing some work. Sounds good. What's up, Dumb Joke? How are you? And then Joe, good to see you as well. But there's no interest now, so it doesn't matter. What do you mean by there's no interest now, so it doesn't matter? I actually don't know what that means. In reference to what? Bear Trap. Bear Traff? Thanks for the cheer. Wait. Bear Trap. Wait, I know that. Is that jiu-jitsu? Is that who I think it is from jiu-jitsu? If so, what's up? If not, never mind. What's up, Mouse Pillow? So tonight's just doing some office hours. We'll see. There's no test or anything coming up. So it may be maybe a short one. Maybe I'll jump on Minecraft a little bit. Maybe we'll do some more S&P Olympics action. I know that we got to get moving on that because we're like not even halfway through the Olympics and we're still missing quite a few events. Mr. Chang, you got your first dose? What does that mean? You got your first dose? I don't know what that means. Your first dose of... I'm worried. Whenever I hear dose. Oh, vaccine. It's got to be vaccine. Sorry, my mind went to all the wrong places on that one. Nice. I'm getting mine tomorrow. I actually have my appointment tomorrow morning at 10:30. I gotta go get my vaccine. How do you feel? I heard the first one, not so bad. I heard it's the second one that knocks you out for a full day, like pretty badly. One second. What is going on, buddy? What are you chewing down there? Come here. Yeah, the vaccine. So wait, what's up, Appa? How you doing? So wait, Mr. Chang, you said get there early if it's at the SEC Fairgrounds. Line was pretty long. Wait, Mr. Chang, did you have an appointment or did you just show up by yourself? Because I'm curious if the line only is for people who are showing up without an appointment, or even if you have an appointment that is still a line. because I have an appointment. So I'm hoping that I don't have to wait in a line, because then what's the point of an appointment? Ahana, you're still a little confused about how cultural evolution causes biological evolution, or does that not even happen? I wouldn't say causes. The better way to phrase that would be something like cultural evolution and biological evolution are co-evolve, kind of, quote unquote, with each other. So they influence each other in such a way that leads to like one pushing. So for let's just take an easy example of the one that we've done in class. Yes, appointment, but there's still a line. It's like a check-in line. So give me a ballpark, Mr. Chang. How long did it take you from start to finish? Like once you arrived at your appointment time, how long did it take you? Just so I can give myself an idea. So let's talk about that cultural evolution. So we talked about lactase persistence, right? This idea that for most of human history, humans were not able to digest lactose, the sugar in milk, because it's it's something that only when you're a baby and an infant and you're nursing that you really need to do. When you get older, what happens is the expression of the gene that codes for the lactase enzyme that digests lactose, the sugar in milk, that kind of is regulated in such a way where it kind of turns off. So you no longer produce lactase as an adult, which means if you drink milk that has that sugar, your body's not able to digest it because you don't have the enzyme. It gives you the cramping, the bloating, the gas, and all that stuff associated with lactose intolerance. Now, humans, right, due to our like sort of ingenuity, our sort of ability to sort of manipulate our environment, we start to domesticate animals, and these are animals that can produce milk, right? Now, what does that mean? So that means our culture, human culture, starts to domesticate animals. So the idea of domesticating an animal and using an animal for its product, whether it's like the wool or meat or milk or anything, is a cultural thing, right? It's a cultural concept. So as humans start to domesticate animals, that culture has evolved, we can say, right? The culture of humans in those regions evolved, right? Not every region of the world domesticated animals, but a lot did. And in fact, some regions domesticated different animals than others. But the regions in which animals that were domesticated and the animals that were domesticated also produced milk in these areas, that culture put a selection pressure on the biological evolution of humans in those cultures. So for example, if you lived in a culture where you had domesticated animals producing milk, and there was like a famine, right? So maybe there wasn't enough crop production or, what have you. There wasn't a lot of food to go around. But hey, guess what? There's milk. So we drink the milk. Now, of course, in the beginning, humans haven't quite evolved. So most of them are lactose intolerant. It's kind of gassy. It's rough. And over time, those that were able to drink more milk got more energy and more calories and survived and reproduced more than those that didn't. So the lactase persistence became more and more common over time. So that means that biology was evolving. The biology of humans was evolving because of culture. So culture influenced the biological evolution, right? And then biology, because now that population is like more able to drink milk, they're like, well, this is actually good. So let's raise more animals and drink more milk because that's free energy, right? We just, it's right here. It's good energy. So then the culture is more enhanced to raising domesticated animals, which selects more for lactase persistence, which then, so it's they bounce off of each other back and forth in these cultures. That was a long explanation, but I hope that clarifies what was missing, Ahana. Let me know if you want. I can go over it a little bit more. What's up? Get there early. 20 minutes. That's not too bad. All right, that's fair. I was thinking like 3 hours or something, because my sister, who's a vet in New York City, she got her vaccine a couple months back, and she said she had to wait for like 3 hours. And I was just like, what? 3 hours? Are you kidding me? What concepts will the test go over? Good question, mouse pillow. I'll show you. Here are the concepts that you need to know. I'm gonna just log in to Schoology here. I'm gonna pull up my bio page, go into semester 2, go to evolution, open up the unit guide. So basically everything that you see on this document, this unit guide, this is what you need to know. So remember, we had a quiz halfway through, which is on 1 and 2. Thanks.
Update your Chrome.
Update my Chrome when I get a chance, my guy. So remember 1 and 2, we covered 1 and 2 on the quiz. So this we've already had a quiz on. 3 and 4, so here's 3. 3 and 4, the last 2 rows, is now going to be added on. And so the test on next Monday or Tuesday is going to cover all 4 rows, so basically the entire unit. Right, so this is your reference guide for what you need to know. Hello again, Nathan. Welcome back. All right, Ahana, glad. Ashi, for the exam on Monday, how will the VIS compare to the practice one from Monday? Pretty close. It will probably not as long. So the one I gave you on Monday with the elephant tusk one kind of gave you a lot of evidence. It gave you the graph. It gave you some of those, those statements. But it will be pretty much exactly the same. So do not expect much different kind of thing. It'll just be a different example. It'll, instead of like the tusks of elephants, it'll be some other trait that I'll bring your way. Geez Louise, it's been so long since you've seen that format. Good times. Are you talking about the VIST format? Wait, geez Louise, where are you at right now? Are you in Chem? Chemistry? You guys, my hair is getting way too long. Like, this is out of this world. Like, once you can go emo, once you start being able to go emo, like, once you can start doing this kind of thing, it's too much. It's too much. You know what I mean? Once you get that one eye covered, where you just have that look, it's not a terrible look. It's just, for someone my age, it's just not a look that you see. You just don't see. You don't see one of those things about is like you don't see emo people that are older than like 20, early 20s. Like once you start getting like older, like late 20s, 30s, 40s. And you still have that emo look, it's kind of odd, right? It's weird. Like it goes. There's nothing against it. It's just you don't see it, and when you do, you're like, "That's what?" Probably. So, is the name? What's the name? Oh, you're an AP Chem usually. Is nice. The name of the dog is official. It is official. The tags have been ordered. The name is in. Are you guys ready? It's Jameson. We're going Jameson. We're just going to stick with the name of the pup that was given by the foster home because the mother's name was Vodka. All the puppies in the litter were named after different alcohols. So we're going to go with Jameson. Yeah, and I do have Irish heritage. The luck of the Irish be with ya. You know, the green grasses of Ireland. Grew up in Belfast and Dublin, you hear. No, and also I like Jameson because it's sort of like, it's got a lot of variations. You can say Jamesy. I've even been calling him Jammers. Jamie. I'll show you guys. Come here, buddy. Come on out. Jameson. This here is Jameson. Official Jameson. Yeah, it's with an E. It's with an E. It's with the E, huh, buddy? Oh, you just knocked my earbud out. How rude. How dare you? Oh, I did not get the channel points yet for him. Not yet. But we'll do it. So speaking of evolution, this is a classic example of evolution right here. This boy. This pup. This is a classic example of what you could call artificial selection. Artificial selection, as we know, is when humans manipulate or select or breed the organisms in a population with certain traits that they desire, right, for whatever reason. So probably the earliest example of human artificial selection would have been with crops, right? Like we would find wild crops that gave us some nutrition, but we would, once we started with agriculture, we could like breed together the crops that gave us the best, biggest fruits, or the best yields, or were the most resistance to pests or droughts. Oh, he might be getting a little squirmy. I know, buddy. I know. You don't want to be on camera. He's a little camera shy, I think. I know, buddy. I know. Right, so over time, you select the ones with the most beneficial traits, and we did that with dogs too. Right, so probably the theory is that what happened is early human societies, like, started to have closer contact with wild wolves, and so what would happen is you'd have these wolf populations, right, that would be living maybe peripherally to humans, right? Like a settlement of humans. And then you'd have wolves that were living in the area that would come and maybe get some of the scraps from humans that were left over, like the bones and things like that. And so there was a little bit of like a very basic relationship. But what ended up happening is those wolves that were the most bold, aka the least fearful of humans, would probably get closer to the settlement and would be able to get more food. So there was like a selection for wolves that had more bravery in terms of humans. They were not as scared of humans because they could get in closer and get more food, right? At first, maybe it was sort of stealing the food or maybe even just getting some scraps, right? So there was some selection pressure to be less afraid of humans. And humans, on the other hand, probably benefited from having wolves around because they could act as like signals for like predators. They would maybe alert them. And so you can imagine over time this relationship formed that was probably more of like a coevolution situation where you have like two organisms, like two species, wolves and humans, that can benefit each other. There's sort of like a mutualistic relationship between the two. And over time, that relationship gets closer and closer. Maybe the wolves start to live like right next to the settlements, then within them, then amongst the humans. Maybe the humans start to feed them and take care of them. And soon enough, people start to breed wolves and they start to look like this. This dog right here that you see right in front of you, this boy, this pupper. Hey, you can't eat the mic. Classic streamer mistake. Don't get too close to the mic. You get this pup right here. This is exactly the same species as a wolf. This dog and a wolf are the same exact species. But you're no wolf. Not even close. He's a scaredy cat. This guy's a scaredy cat. He has no courage. He will not protect me or my girlfriend or our house from any intruder. He has no interest. But I'm going to let him down now. He's good. But the other thing to consider with artificial selection, and this is sort of like an ethics point that I'll throw in here. we've gotten to such a point where we've bred dogs to such a degree, we've selected for certain traits so severely, like when you think about some of these dogs like that are like purebred dogs, right? In order to like match what they call breed standards, so there's like I don't know, there's like a manual where like certain breeds have to have certain requirements to be classified as that breed. So like, I don't know, German Shepherds have to have certain kinds of ear heights and angles of hips and all this stuff. All right, he's getting a little bit much for me. So then you could imagine that if you breed for such traits so pure, like if you want to be so purebred, there's a lot of inbreeding going on, right? Remember we talk about inbreeding as a problem because it allows recessive alleles to accumulate and you get more homozygous recessive individuals, which allows more disorders, diseases. So a lot of purebred dogs are experiencing genetic issues due to the inbreeding. So what I recommend, and here's my public service announcement for the day before I put him down because he keeps knocking my earbuds out, is if you do purchase a pup, please try not to go to a puppy mill or a puppy breeder and buy purebred dogs. I mean, you can, but it's not the most ethical. They typically have health issues. Not always, but sometimes. Whereas you get a guy like this, either from a shelter or an adoption agency or a foster situation, these are mixed. So this guy is like a mix. He's probably mostly American Staffordshire Terrier, which is like a pit bull style, like probably at least 50% pit, but then the other 50% is from breeds like Dalmatian, Chihuahua, Retriever, a lot. So right, he's more genetically diverse. There's a lot more variation inside of him, which makes him a little bit healthier. And you also are rescuing a puppy that would otherwise be in a shelter or not have a home. So, and it's cheaper. It's cheaper. You don't have to pay like $1,000 to have some purebred. And they're cute. So that's my PSA. That is my PSA for the day. Okay? Classic example of evolution in action here. All right, buddy. You're going down for the night. All right. Tim, you probably don't know me, but I had a question. What are the four major types of evidence that can be used to define a species? Also, why is defining a species something difficult? All right, good question. Let's see. So the four major types of evidence that can be used to define a species. Let's go ahead and pull up a paint here. How big is he gonna get? So Ahana, he's probably gonna get, I would hope for around 50 pounds. 50 pounds is like a sweet spot. I don't want him to be over like 60, 70 is like 70 pounds is pushing it. But I'm going to guess based off his paw size, they're relatively big. I'm thinking 50 to 60 pounds. Probably. What's up, Sanjay? What's up, Michael? That's your sign to adopt a dog. Just be very careful. If you adopt a puppy, it's a lot of work in the first couple weeks. Thanks for the follow. Shanti. Thanks for the follow. What's up? Just be very careful because in the first couple weeks, it's rough. Like I have to wake up like every 2 hours at night. That's why I'm tired, why my streams have been sort of missing lately. Because he does not potty trained. So basically, I keep him in a crate at night, but I have to get up and open the crate, take him outside so he can, poop and pee if he needs to. And a lot of times he doesn't, so you're standing out there in the cold for like 15, 20 minutes waiting, and you're like, all right, buddy, you don't have to go. We come back in, put him in the crate, you wake up 2 hours later, and oh my God, he pooped in the crate. It's like, okay, and you gotta clean it. It's like 3 a.m, so last night I was like cleaning the crate, like getting all the poop off his paws because his crate's small, so he had like stepped in it. It's rough. But the hope is if you train properly, within a couple weeks, the potty training will be down, or maybe even a few weeks. Hopefully not more than like a month or two. Yeah. So let's go back to Tim's question. So as far as species go, so let's pull up a little paint here. Actually, I'm gonna clear this office hours sign. So as far as the characteristics that define a species, I think I didn't go into this as much in my class, so I'm gonna do my best to. I'm gonna just do my best here. So one, I think the most obvious thing is DNA. So this is the most modern and the most kind of new things as far as classifying species. So we look at how genetically similar organisms are, and then we can classify them based off of their DNA. That's probably the most new and probably the most accurate. Two, we can use something called morphology. Morphology is a fancy word for saying physical characteristics, physical traits, right? So we can look at species or organisms and group them based off, do they have similar physical characteristics? Three, let's see. I'm trying to come up with two or more. How else would we classify species? Oh yeah, like ability to reproduce maybe with each other. Ability to reproduce successfully. So, i.e., can two different organisms, if they can reproduce and have offspring that are viable, that can themselves reproduce, we would say that they are not the same species. We would say that they are the same species. So if they can't reproduce together, they are probably different species. And then four, I might be stumped on number four. Does anyone in the chat know the fourth one? Because I didn't really cover this in my class in too much detail. Anyone in the chat know the fourth? Can help Tim Ox out. The other thing with puppies that makes you tired is it's constant vigilance. You're constantly supervising them, looking, monitoring them, making sure they're not biting stuff, pooping, peeing in places. Yeah, I got that one already. Dumb joke. I'm going to call you DJ from now on. I already got that one, DJ. Let's see. Akash, location. Location. Yeah, you know what, Akash? I think that's probably right. That seems right to me, location. So probably like, are they inhabited in the same location? Maybe. I'm going to put a question mark next to that one. So sorry, Tim, that I don't have a full answer for you on the fourth one there. We can look it up, though. Let's see if in 4 ways. Shanti, what am I getting? I already got a puppy. I got a puppy. I was showing him on stream about 10 minutes ago, 5-10 minutes ago. He's a pit mix. He's 3 months old right now, and you just heard him right there. He's playing. He likes to go under the couch now. He crawled under the couch and is now just barking under there for no reason at all. Anyway, let's see. Let's pull this up. Hey, Jameson. Jameson, no. You can't bark in here for just absolutely no reason. You hear? You understand me? Let's see. I'm trying to do a little research for you, Timox, to see if I can find out this correct answer here. Mary, what's up? How are you doing? Good evening to you as well. What type of dog do I have? It's a pit mix. Kind of a pit mix, kind of sitch. I already showed him on stream already, but I know you guys are all itching to see him again. I'll bring him up real quick right after I answer Tim's question. I'll pop him up again for those of you that just joined and haven't seen him yet. Akash, it's behavior or ecological niche? Yeah, it could be behavior too. I'm not finding anything, so this might be something that's specific to another class, another bio teacher. It could be behavior. It could be location, something like that. But let me answer your last part of your question, Tim, if you're still there after all this long-winded talk. Why is defining a species sometimes difficult? The answer there is because the way life works, right? Like the way that organisms work is they evolve from common ancestors over time, right? So what happens is, like, as time marches forward, like organisms diverge away from each other as they inhabit different locations and experience different selection pressures. So finding, like, having a line to say, oh, this is now a new species is difficult because everything is very gradual. The same issue applies to, like, when we talk about anything that's on a spectrum. So, like, imagine if I, lined up everyone in a class from shortest to tallest in terms of height, and then I asked you to draw the line. Where is the line for someone who you would consider tall? It'd be difficult. You wouldn't know, like, well, I don't know where I would put the line tall. You might say, well, if you're on the tallest 50%, then you're classified as tall. No, because but if you're like right close to 50, that's kind of average. Is it the top 10, top 20? It's difficult because species it's not clearly defined so straightforwardly. Voyboy. Jameson's probably the dopest I've ever heard. Jameson is the dopest name I've ever heard. That's cool. I appreciate that. I didn't actually name him Jameson. I just took it from the foster people who had already named him. So, Tim, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. I know that you're not a Monte Vista student at all, and I know that I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're just asking about topics of biology because you're interested in it, right? That's awesome. Oh, Ashi, I probably missed this, but this was the quiz. Uh-oh, Tim, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that, Tim. Uh-oh. Did you read the bio? Did you read the description? I'm going to give you 5 seconds to look at the description real quick. I appreciate your enthusiasm there, but you have to understand that there's a policy on my Twitch channel very specifically because of conflict of interest things. So I have to like cancel that sub. Sorry, my guy. I appreciate the sentiment though. So let's see what else. So let me go back to Ashi real quick. You probably missed this, but was the quiz more in depth for the first 2 rows of the kudos compared to how the exam will be? Probably a little bit, yeah. But not by a lot, Ashi. It'll be pretty equal. The exam's going to definitely be longer than the quiz, for sure. Can you go up, buddy? Let me see. Aria, will we be given review worksheets to prepare the? Yeah, Aria, my plan is to put some more stuff in the review folder. So I want to put in like a Kahoot and a couple of worksheets. So I'm going to try and do that this week. DJ, you checked your homework and it said being adapted from. Okay, being adapted for different resources. Okay, so we can just add that. So I'll scratch this. Adaptations for different adaptations for different resources. Got it. Voy. I am going to assume I don't know you either, and you're somebody that is completely anonymous. I have no idea who you are, man, and I appreciate you coming in from a place that is definitely not MV. That's awesome. What's up? You're a kid now? If you're X, that's all good. You're all good. I said the exam's 3 parts, so there are 2. Wait, did I say the exam is 3 parts? It's going to be 4. It's going to be 4. All right, Ahana, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. It's going to be 3 multiple choice parts. No, 4 multiple choice parts and a short answer. Although that's my plan. Although the bio team hasn't quite decided yet, so we might group 2 together to make it 3. But either way, it'll all be covered. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Boy. I appreciate that. Sanjay, what are the 4 parts? The 4 parts are literally just going to be based off of the kudos right here. Hold on, let me put this up. Based off of this. So there's going to be human evolution. So let's just go back to the start. So first of all, evolution by natural selection. So the first topic is like the broad idea of evolution. So like, you know, we all come from a common ancestor, this idea of common descent, a little bit about the VIST stuff. So understanding that natural selection is a result of variation, inheritance, selection, and time. Some case studies in here that you should know are things like the antibiotic resistance case study. Flightless birds is another case study. This is also where you should kind of have at least a basic understanding of some of the important evidence behind evolution. So fossil evidence, DNA evidence, embryological evidence, these kinds of things. All right, T-Dub. Peace, my guy. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you recover from tryouts today. And good luck on your future tryouts. I hope you make the team. Let us know. Let us know where you're at with that. Wait, I think I missed a hydrate from Erebus. So cheers to Erebus if you're still there, my guy. I missed this a while back. Okay, so that's the first part, and then the second part is this idea of like adaptation. So getting into a little bit more about the genetics of evolution. So looking at like the changes in allele frequency over time, right? Understanding mutations, gene flow, right? These sources of variation that exist at a genetic level. Talking a little bit about things like genetic drift, which is the random change in allele frequencies over time. These kinds of things. And then number 3 is getting into some things about speciation. We looked at cladograms here, so understanding how to interpret a cladogram. You can definitely expect there to be a couple cladograms on there. All right, Voyboy, I will see you later. I stream pretty much every night on Twitch, so from like 7 to 9 is usually my schedule, or 7 to 9:30. Usually what we do is just have more fun on Minecraft and stuff, or watch videos and just chill and I answer questions. Tonight's more structured for office hours, obviously. What else is in here? And then for number 4, the last part, all about human evolution. So we'll talk about humans' biological evolution, our cultural evolution, and then the one thing we haven't discussed yet, which we're talking about in class on Thursday and Friday, is this idea of race and how race, because race is one of these things that is such a man, I don't know how to put it, like charged topic, especially today, right? Especially with what we're seeing in the social and political arenas today. So we're going to touch on race a little bit and how it connects to evolution. Hey, it's okay, dude. All right. It's okay, bud. Hey, it's okay. Sanjay, do we need to know about folate levels and stuff in the biology? Yes, you do. That's right here, right? That's in 4C, skin color. The evolution of skin color. Yeah, so definitely expect there to be a question about the process by which human skin color evolved. So the idea of like, okay, if you had ancestors that lived in certain latitudes on Earth, they adapted to the UV light in those latitudes. And so if you lived in an area at a lower latitude, closer to the equator, you would tend to have darker skin because your ancestors would have been adapted to have more melanin in their skin to reflect that UV light or to dissipate it or to, block it so that you wouldn't damage your folate levels, because folate is an important vitamin. It's a B vitamin that is extremely important in the formation of the spinal tube, the neural tube in embryonic development. And if you don't have enough folate, you have birth defects and malformities, which lead to a unsuccessful reproduction, which makes you less fit. And so people, individuals who had slightly darker skin tended to be more fit in those environments. And so over time, the skin darkened to help with that. And then, of course, if you had ancestors who lived in higher latitudes, so people with, Northern European ancestry, you had slightly, lighter skin because you have less UV light at higher latitudes due to the shape, the spherical nature of the Earth, as light is more glancing. So you didn't need as much pigmentation to protect yourself. And in fact, because the light levels were lower up there, you needed lighter skin to absorb more light to help you produce vitamin D, which is an important selection pressure for lighter skin. So skin colors, it's all based off of ancestry. And so when people talk about races as being so anytime you hear someone start to get really talk really strongly about the fact that race is a genetic thing, guaranteed, and what they mean by race is something different than what we mean when we say the pigmentation in your skin is a ancestry thing, right? It's simply based off your ancestry. There's nothing else about race that is, anything like this. People will make some ridiculous claims about moral claims about racial groups and things like that. Yeah, and then there's a short answer that's a VIST. Yep. Mary, people in northern climates have light skin to get more folate, right? Yeah, that is the idea. Well, no, actually, excuse me, that's not the right. So, Mary, you're correct that people in northern climates so instead of saying northern climates, I think a better term is to say northern latitudes, higher on the globe. So if we look at let's just look at Google Earth real quick. So you got Google Earth. So you got Google Earth. This is like a Dyson Sphere program. This is like the game I've been playing, Dyson Sphere program, where you can look at the Earth like this. So if you look at the globe, right? So the equator is pretty much right here, right? It runs right through here. The easy way to tell where the equator is where you just see that band of green. That band of green is the equator because you get a lot of light there, and a lot of moisture. So you get a lot of plant growth, a lot of producers here. But you also have a lot of UV light. So if your ancestors evolved down here, you get a lot of exposure to UV light, right? But if you go northern, let's go north. North. Up here, because the Earth is a sphere, the light doesn't hit it directly. So imagine, right, here's the Earth, right? And then you've got the sun over here. Here's our sun on the side, and it's shining its light towards the Earth. The light is coming in a straight line. And when it hits the equator, so let's just say this is the equator here, which is, the equator, by the way, is 0 degrees latitude. It hits it direct. It's a direct strike at the equator. But as you go north, right, as this light comes in, it's straight line, it's more of a glancing angle. So what happens is, as you go north and south, it's striking less and less directly, and it's more of a glance because the Earth is spherical. So as you go up and down, aka further away from the equator, right? So like this, let's say these are, let's say 60 degrees latitude and 60 degrees north latitude and 60 degrees south. As you migrate away from the equator, you experience less UV light. Okay. Now, it's not that you're going, it's not that the lighter skin in the northern and southern hemispheres, like further away from the equator, it's not that the UV, it's not that that lighter skin is meant to protect your folate levels. It's meant to, so your folate levels are going to be fine, right? It's not to give you more folate. Your folate levels are going to be fine. It's to allow you to produce more vitamin D. So Mouse Pillow, you're asking, how does the sun give you vitamin D? The sun does not give you vitamin D. The sunlight triggers a reaction in your cells to produce vitamin D. So your body makes vitamin D in response, partially in response. You make some vitamin D without light, but light helps you make more vitamin D. So having lighter skin means more light strikes your skin and isn't blocked, which triggers the production of more vitamin D. So it's kind of like, so think of it like this. So up here, at the equator, the issue is folate. So selection pressures. So the selection pressure at the equator is folate levels. The selection pressure at the north is vitamin D. So there's actually two different selection pressures, right? So in order to get more vitamin D, you need lighter skin. In order to protect your folate, you need darker skin. Wait, you thought excessive sunlight can lower folate levels in people who have lighter skin? Is that not true? No, it is true. It is true. That's why folate is a selection pressure at the equator. Right? So you have darker skin to protect your folate at the equator. But because there's not as much light here and here at the north and south, you don't need the darker skin to protect the folate because there's not as much UV light striking your skin. So how does that relate to melanin? Well, the darker your skin, the more melanin you're producing. So melanin equals pigment. It's the pigment that your skin produces. right? So in order to protect your folate levels at the equator, you produce more melanin to block the UV light. So think of melanin as like the defender of UV light, or excuse me, the defender of folate that blocks UV light. So UV light and folate are not a good match. Melanin comes in between UV light and folate and protects the folate levels from being damaged. But on the opposite end of the extreme, right, melanin also, because it blocks UV light, would actually inhibit the production of vitamin D. So melanin is good at the equator, right, is selected for at the equator, but melanin would be selected against towards the poles. So if I had to draw like a band, I would say, you know, you have melanin here, right? And then as you go from the equator, it gets less and less and less. Right? So as you go upwards, the amount of melanin decreases. I don't know if I did a good job representing that, but like that's the idea. It's like down here you got a lot more. What are the differences between the different UVs for... that's a good question, Tim. I actually don't know. I'm not that good at those different ones. There are two basic types of ultraviolet rays that reach Earth's surface: UVB and UVA. UVB rays are responsible for producing sunburn. The UVB rays also play the greatest role in causing skin cancer, including the deadly black mole form of skin cancer, malignant melanoma. UVA rays also play a role in skin cancer formation. In addition, the UVA rays penetrate more deeply into the skin and play a greater role in premature skin aging, including wrinkle formation. There are approximately 500 times more UVA rays in sunlight than UVB rays. Therefore, in addition to protecting your skin from the effects of UVB, it's also important to protect it from the effects of UVA. Traditional sunscreen products have been more successful at blocking UVB than UVA rays. Interesting. So when you wear sunscreen, it might protect you more from a sunburn because that's what UVB rays are. But if it's not so good at UVA, it might still age your skin and increase your risk of skin cancer. Yikes. So it sounds like UVA is actually what you want to protect from, not UVB. I mean, sunburns aren't great, but like, I'd rather have a sunburn than get cancer and look old. Sorry to anyone out there that looks old. So the melanin production depends on the folate levels, and the melanin production amount affects your skin. So melanin production depends on the... No, Sanjay, not quite. The melanin production depends on the amount of melanin you produce as an individual depends on where your ancestors evolved. Did your ancestors evolve in a low latitude area with a lot of UV light? That UV light was a selection pressure on the production of melanin, right? So individuals that produced more melanin were selected for because they had a survival and reproduction advantage because they didn't get their folate levels damaged as much. So they didn't have as many children with birth defects due to neural tube malformations. So a better way to frame that is to say that melanin production depends on the presence of UV light exposure that your ancestors had. And you know what I mean? But yes, it does affect your skin color. DJ, UVA does not have any effect on vitamin D production, and UVB does. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Let's look that up. Vitamin D and sunlight process. Maybe process. This is always a good source. Just FYI, whenever you're researching something online for sources, NCBI. NCBI is a great website for scientific information, especially biology. It's kind of like Wikipedia, but more credible because it has sources and stuff, better sources. A lot of Wikipedia articles cite this one. Cite this site. Vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin that has been produced on this earth for more than 500 million years. During exposure to sunlight, 7-dehydrocholesterol in the skin absorbs UVB radiation and is converted to the pre-vitamin D3, which in turn isomerizes into vitamin D3. Pre-vitamin D3 and vitamin D3 also absorb UVB radiation and are converted into a variety of photoproducts, some of which have unique biological properties. Sun-induced vitamin D synthesis is greatly influenced by the season, time of day, latitude, as we've said, altitude, air pollution, skin pigmentation, sunscreen use, passing through glass and plastic, and aging. Tim, wait, if you live somewhere there isn't much sunlight, if you live somewhere there isn't much sunlight and you're dark-skinned, will you have a vitamin D deficiency or folate deficiency? You will not have a vitamin D deficiency. You will not have a folate deficiency because remember, folate is based off of your diet. It's not based off of the light levels. Folate is not produced in your body due to the light. It's due to your diet. So your skin color so folate is only damaged by sunlight. It's not produced or enhanced. So no, if you have a dark skin and you go towards let's say that you are darker skinned and you live in a northern country, like Nordic country, like Mary was talking about, like, some Scandinavian country, Norway, Iceland, something like that. Actually, I don't think Iceland is Scandinavian, but whatever. Norway, Sweden, something like that. You don't have to worry about folate as long as your diet's fine, right? And you're getting your B vitamins. What you might have to worry about is vitamin D deficiency. That might be an issue. So you might want to take vitamin D supplements because vitamin D is triggered, the production of it is triggered by UVB radiation, as we see here, right? So I guess the way to kind of frame this is if you have darker skin, you should be worried about living at high latitudes because of vitamin D deficiency. If you have lighter skin, you should be worried about living at lower latitudes due to potential folate deficiency. You want to go out, buddy? You got to go pee? Go ahead out, bud. I don't want you peeing in here. It's okay, bud. So DJ was talking about vitamin D, like how you wouldn't really have to worry about vitamin D deficiency and stuff like that if you have darker skin and you're living in the north. Yeah, it's probably true in today's age. It's not really an issue, right? Because we have most of our supermarket foods tend to be supplemented with vitamins, so you're probably fine. They have vitamin supplements, as he said. You're probably fine. In our modern era, it's not really that big of an issue, because we have things like sunscreen and vitamin supplements, and so it kind of like negates the prime necessity of skin pigmentation. So now, of course, sunburn is another issue that you got to be careful of. What else? Ethan, what's up? We're on evolution unit. DJ, I really appreciate the knowledge that you're bringing to the chat today, my guy. Some good stuff. Always like that. Sanjay, the folate levels can be affected by UV light, so melanin helps protect the folate levels, right? Yes. Yep, 100%. Hey, buddy, if you need to go pee, you can go out. I know it's scary and it's dark out there, but you're a big boy. Arya, can I elaborate on what anencephaly is? Ashi, what did you say? You think anencephaly is when the brain... Sorry, guys. I'm on alert right now with my pup because he hasn't peed in a while, and he's acting like he might need to pee. And he's also kind of a scaredy cat. He's kind of a coward, if we're being honest. And he doesn't like to go outside unless I'm with him. And so I'm worried that because he's so scared, he'll just pee inside if he has to. So I'm monitoring right now out of the corner of my eye. So sorry that I'm distracted a little bit. So Asha, you said that anencephaly is when the brain is severely underdeveloped and parts may be missing. Probably. I don't... was this in the article, Arya? Yikes. Holy cow, that looks terrible. Anencephaly is a serious birth defect in which a baby is born without parts of the brain and skull. Jesus. Oh, it's a type of neural tube defect. Okay, so it's basically a potential issue with severe folate deficiency during pregnancy. Because I'm more aware of the issue with folate deficiency as spina bifida, which is when the spine doesn't form properly, but this one seems like a severe version. Yikes. The cause of anencephaly among most infants is unknown. Some babies have anencephaly because of a change in their genes or chromosomes. Okay, probably like a mutation or something like that. Anencephaly might also be caused by a combination of genes and other factors, such as things that the mother comes in contact. Some medicines. Getting enough folic acid before and during early pregnancy can help prevent neural tube defects, such as anencephaly. Okay. It says if you're pregnant, take 400 micrograms of folic acid every day as a supplement. Yeah, this is not good. Yikes. Ethan, you struggled with this unit last year. So, this unit, the thing about evolution, in my opinion, as a unit, and the reason why I think some students struggle with it is because it's very conceptual and it's highly based off of language. So one of the things that a lot of students fail to do that I think would help you is talking things out. So when you talk, so here's something that's really important. You can read and listen to as much as you want about a certain topic. But if you don't actually produce anything with that knowledge, like if you don't say, like recite something, speak something, try to explain a topic verbally or write it out, it is very likely that you actually haven't quite fully understood it, regardless of how much you think you know. So oftentimes it's funny because I'll have students come in during office hours, right? And they'll ask about some questions. And I'll ask like a very, very simple question, like, okay, can you explain to me what we mean by natural selection? And they won't be able to because they've never actually tried to explain it out loud. Like they've heard me talk about it, they've read about it, but then all of a sudden when they're asked to actually like say it out loud, they're like, they just, because they've never done it, they don't know how to put it into words. So like they feel like they have an understanding because they've heard it. And so it just feels like you know it, but the only really way to know if you understand something is to write it out or say it out and have somebody say like, yeah, that's right, or that's not wrong, right? Or that's right or wrong, right? So a lot of students will go the entire unit without really writing something out or trying to explain something verbally. and then they just have this, they've never processed it at a higher level. Mary, other than skin tone, does skin undertone? What is it? I've never heard of skin undertone, Mary. Can you tell me more about skin undertone? Never heard of skin undertone. Is that a thing? Skin undertone. These are all beauty websites. These are all like skincare things. Is skin undertone an actual thing, or is it a term that's used in beauty and cosmetics that's like kind of not really a thing, but they use it because it's like a cool sounding word? Ethan, I teach apes. I do not teach AP Bio. I teach apes. DJ, can that be detected by... let's look. Can that be detected? Diagnosis. It can be diagnosed during pregnancy. Jameson. Oh, you're outside. He might be peeing. You guys, he might be peeing outside right now. If he's peeing, I have to go check. If he's peeing, he gets a treat because he's peeing outside. Positive reinforcement. I'm going to go check real quick. Hold on a second. These are the treats that he gets. He gets these little nuggets. They're bacon flavored apparently. What's up, Akash? How you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while, Akash. You're attending opposite hours of school. You're not attending. That's good, man. Broaden your brain, your horizons. Nice to see you. Mary, warm might be a makeup classification. I gotta take a look. I'll look at it in a second. Ashi, I'll answer your question in 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. I just need to double check if my guy here. I do have a dog, Akash. I can show you. Hey, Jameson, come here. Come here, Jameson. Scoop. Scoop. This is him. Jameson. Oh. You can see he's a pit mix. He's 3 months old, so he's a youngin. He's a youngin. Sorry, I gotta check. I don't have a light out there, so I gotta get my phone and use the flashlight. He did. He peed out there. But see, the problem is, if you wait too long with a dog, they don't know why they're getting rewarded, so it doesn't reinforce the behavior. I'm going to give him a treat anyway because he's a cutie. Jameson. Here you go, buddy. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, you peed outside. You're a good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think that probably was too long from when he actually peed. So he probably got a treat and he's like, I don't know why I'm getting a treat, but hey, I'm going to take it because it's free treats. Akash, you love the RGB lighting. What is it on the wall? So my RGB lighting, I have 2 LED strips. One that I wrapped around the light post back there that you can see behind my behind the left of me. And then those 3 lights are color changing lights. And then I have another LED light strip that I laid behind the couch, like on the back of the couch, so it lights up the underneath the, like on the wall there. They're Wiz light bulbs. If you ever heard of them. Wiz. These ones. These Wiz light bulbs. It's Wi-Fi controlled. I can control it with my my phone. Controlled on an app on the phone. Each light I can control individually over Wi-Fi. Yep, RGB controller. So right now I have it set to just slowly change through all the different colors randomly. So they just all slowly but surely just morph through different colors. I think that's the best. I like it the best. Let me go back up here. Mario, let's look at undertones real quick. What else do I want to get to? Oh yeah, Ashi, you also wanted to know more about memes. Wait, so Ashi, when you're talking about, could I go over more examples of memes? I mean, a meme is the term meme. All that the term meme is a cultural idea, right? So any cultural thing is a meme. So you could think of anything in our culture, it's a meme. Clothing, these are memes. Phones, these are memes. Websites, those are memes. Religions, memes. I don't know. Different seasonings for food, memes. I don't know, like social interactions, languages, memes. Right? So if we look up like meme from the like in a Dawkins sense, and we go to just the Wikipedia, right? A meme is an idea, behavior, or style that becomes a fad and spreads by means of imitation. Hey, what? What are you trying to do, dude? Are you trying to go out? Or are you bored that I'm streaming right now and I'm not giving you attention? I'll give you attention in a bit. Give me a sec. From person to person within culture and often carries symbolic meaning representing a particular phenomena or theme. A meme acts as a unit for carrying cultural ideas, symbols, practices. It can be transmitted from one mind to another. So that's another interesting thing, right? A gene resides in the nucleus. A meme resides as an idea in the brain or in the mind. It's a non-physical thing, whereas a gene is actually a physical piece of DNA. And it's transmitted through writing, speech, gestures, rituals, or other imitable phenomena with a mimicked theme. Supporters of the concept regard memes as a cultural analogous to genes in that they self-replicate, mutate, and respond to selection pressures. Proponents theorize that memes are a viral phenomenon that may evolve by natural selection in a manner analogous to that of biological evolution. Memes do this through the process of variation, mutations, competition, and inheritance. This is just another way of saying this, guys. Variation is the V, obviously. Mutation is the inheritance. Wait, hold on a second. No, sorry, inheritance. Mutation and variation, these go together. Competition is S, is selection. They just don't include time here, but basically. Yeah, Ethan. All right, DJ, have a good stream. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for helping out in chat. I appreciate it. I'll see you later, man. Yeah, so Ethan and Akash, you guys are talking about memes. Okay. All right, Nick. I didn't see that. You need to get out of here, my guy. This is a wholesome family stream, Nick, and that's got to go, unfortunately. I'm gonna. What's up, Haxwell? Thanks for dropping in. We can talk a little bit in a sec. Yeah, so Ethan and Akash, you guys are wondering about memes that you didn't learn that. Yeah, so I talk about it because I think it's relevant. We talk about cultural evolution with humans, like we evolve both culturally and biologically, but our culture is basically unparalleled in any other organisms. I mean, there are cultures that exist in other organisms for sure, but culture is such a huge part of the human species, that it deserves a little bit more description. And so this idea of a meme is also interesting because we all know internet memes, but no one really knows where the word meme came from. And it actually came from a evolutionary biologist named Richard Dawkins, who wrote about this idea of a meme back in like the 70s or something like that. And there's even a field of study that came about after that in the 90s called Mimetics, right? Which is the study of information and culture based off of an analogy with Darwinian evolution. So the term was coined by Richard Dawkins in the 1976 book, The Selfish Gene. All right. So memes don't necessarily have to have an impact on genes. Most likely, Ashi, all of our culture does impact genes in some way or another. Right? It just might not be direct, or it might be hard to tell, but they definitely do. All right, so what time is it? It's 8:15. So I'm going to answer Aria. Aria, I'll answer your question, and then I want to talk to Haxwell real quick about potential environmental science careers, because he wanted to chat about that a little bit. So Aria, you asked how much should we know about the origin of humans for the exam. You should know everything that we covered in that video. Hey, come on now. I know you're bored, and I'm not giving you the attention you need, but you got to relax right now, dude. Give me another, just a little more time. I'll open this up and then go out again. So everything that we covered, if you go to remember we did the video in class on human biological evolution. So this worksheet here. So everything that was in this video, you should know the 3 features. You should know these 3 species and how they're related, and be able to know a cladogram that we drew down here. You should know this inside and out, and you should be good. All right, Mary, thanks for stopping in. I will talk to you later. Haxwell, yeah, I got a dog this weekend, actually. I'll show you. I've been showing everybody today. But since you just got here, I will show you real quick. Hey, Jameson. Here he is. Here's the cutie. Here's the boy. He's a pup. He's only 3 months old. All right. Oh. Yeah, if you get a puppy, it takes a lot of responsibility. I've been having to wake up a couple times every night just to let him out so that he can go pee and poop, because he still isn't potty trained yet. And it requires a lot of attention to focus on them. But I figured this was the perfect time to get a puppy, because with, remote learning, I'm home all day, so I can just easily handle his needs for now. And then hopefully he gets trained and gets a little bit older so that he can be on his own more. And then when we go back, it'll be fine. Tim, you also really wanted a dog, but your parents would never let me. How can you change their minds? It's going to be very difficult to change their minds, because they know that they will be the ones that will probably have to take care of the dog, right? So they're like, well, if we get a dog, that's an extra responsibility probably for us, because ultimately, because we're parents, we're the ones that are in charge of the house. We're the responsible ones at the end of the day. So if we get a dog for you and you don't take care of it, we don't want all the work coming back to them. So you kind of have to, they might just never let it happen. But yeah. You might have, like, oh yeah, that's a good point, Ashi. Show them how responsible you are. Yeah, I mean, demonstrate your responsibility. Make them trust that if you get a dog, that you will be the one that take care of it. If you get a puppy, are you going to wake up at 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., at 6 a.m. to let it out every 2 hours until it's potty trained for the first couple weeks? Are you going to clean up the poop? Are you going to like wipe its feet off at 3 in the morning because it pooped in its crate? Are you going to watch it all day so that if it doesn't pee, it doesn't bite stuff? Are you going to train it to not bite stuff? Are you going to take it on walks every day? It's a lot. It's as close to having a kid as you can get in terms of responsibility. All right, Haxwale, are you in the Discord? Yes. All right. Can you go to jump into the general voice channel, if you don't mind? Because I was thinking we could talk about it, like actually talk, like in the voice channel. We could have a conversation if you wanted. But if that's something you're not comfortable with, we can just talk later on through Discord. Just let me know if you don't want to. I totally understand. I just think it'd be easier to communicate this way about it, and maybe other people might be interested in hearing a conversation about potential environmental science careers. So if you go into the Mr. Jones MV Discord and you look at voice channels, you should see general. It's right above tutor help. If you jump in there, I can grab you and drag you into the stream room. What's up, Joe? All right, we're going to kind of transition away from... all right, Nathan, have a good one. We're going to transition away from office hours, and we're going to move... we're going to transition away from office hours, and we're going to move to just sort of a general stream for the last kind of half hour.
What's up, Mr. Jones?
Haxwale. Do you prefer Haxwale, or do you prefer if I call you Peter?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter? Yeah. Okay. So why don't you just remind me what you wanted to talk about something about environmental careers?
Or, yeah, like careers in that field, because I guess it's the only field that like really interests me. I'm not really interested in any other fields, so okay. I just want to look into environmental sciences, careers, stuff.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at the original message that you sent, I would say
I know everyone's going to like CS or engineering stuff that pays a lot. I tried it before, but I'm just too like I have to drop like Java twice. I'm just too dumb for that. So
well. Yeah. I mean, not necessarily. It would just probably require you to put in more time, right? To like really dedicate yourself to that, to really learning it. So I think if you're not interested in it enough to dedicate yourself to the level to get good at it, then it's probably best that you don't pursue it. It's not that you couldn't do it.
Which really sucks. Like, which really sucks because, I heard they get paid a lot, and it's like barely any, I mean, it's not very labor intensive.
Possibly. I do know that, computer engineering and software engineering is a very lucrative career. I don't know if it's intensive or not. I do hear about a lot of like long hours coding and all that stuff. So, but Anyway, so Akash, you want me to wait? Akash, do you want to join this conversation about environmental science careers, or did you have something else you wanted to talk about? Because if you want to join the conversation, we can. But if it's something different, maybe wait till after Haxwell and I are done. So yeah, I think when I think about you have to, so ultimately you're going to be confronted with making a decision oftentimes about, not always, some people are lucky that the thing that they really like and are passionate about also is extremely lucrative. But most of the time, the lucrative jobs, the reason why they pay a lot is because they are either extremely difficult to do, meaning like very select people can actually do them. So like, being a high-end athlete or being a high-end public personality or all these things, right? Or they require extreme amounts of dedication and hours, usually, which is why they get paid more. Now, on the other hand, you have an option of going the route of like something that's more enjoyable, maybe a little less of an energy drain, and gives you more free time. Hold on a sec, my dog is going crazy right now. He just got an energy burst. So I would say, what kind of lifestyle? I would always, whenever people always ask like, what should I do for a career? My first thought is, what kind of lifestyle do you want to have for most of your life, for the next say 50 years? Well, not 50 years, sorry.
Yeah, I'd probably say years. I would choose a more laid back one because I'm really not that much of like a hard worker or a smart worker. So I'd probably choose like, the easier option.
Okay. At least you're being honest with yourself, because some people aren't, right? Like I'm probably more in the same boat with you. Like the reason why I enjoy being a teacher is for a couple reasons. One, I really like biology and it lets me talk about it a lot and interact with students about it and science in general. And two, it's a job that affords me a lot of time to pursue things that I am interested in, right? But not good enough at to make money at, or aren't something that you could get paid for. So I can travel, or I can play video games, or I can, raise a puppy. I can do different things, right?
Right. So and also, I don't think I'd be able to put into work for like some fancy degree that I hear about, like people staying up all night just to study. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to manage that.
Yeah, so you have to put in a lot of. It's going to be like your grind. You have to be okay with grinding out work, and if it's not something you really enjoy doing, it might just be more headache and more of a stress, and you might not enjoy your life as much. So yeah, that's kind of like the first decision is how do you see yourself over the next 30 years on a day-to-day basis, and could you imagine yourself working 50-hour, 60-hour, 70-hour weeks doing something that is not the most fun for you, or just a lot of stress?
Yeah, I'd probably have to go with a no.
Yeah, okay, well that's the first question. So then you want to pursue something that's going to afford you to, then you want to start to think about what's a good balance between, you got to make a living, right? So at the end of the day, you can't just do everything you just want to do. Ultimately, work is work, right? People say do what you love, but ultimately when you're doing it for a job, eventually it becomes a job, right? It's not something you're going to wake up and like be like over the moon doing every single day, right? It's called work for a reason. So, yeah. But is it something that you can at least be like, you know what? I find meaning and purpose in this. I enjoy it to the extent that I could. I'm not like waking up every morning like stressed or going to bed at night thinking like dreading the next day. Those are things you want to avoid. Now the question is, how do you know what to do that will make you that way? You really don't know, unfortunately.
I mean, like I really do enjoy going to work. I work at Amazon, which is probably one of the worst places to work at because they care about their employees so much. So, I mean, it can't really be worse than Amazon.
Wait, they care about their employees so much, or they don't?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I just wasn't. You were very deadpan on your delivery there.
No, I was being sarcastic. They gave me this like high visibility jacket. I'm pretty sure it's only because I don't get run over in the middle of the night. So.
What do you do at Amazon? Yeah. What are you doing at Amazon right now?
I pretty much just deliver stuff and load packages.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of manual labor work, but it's exercise, and they pay me, so I really don't complain. I really enjoy it actually. It makes me feel like I'm contributing to society and stuff.
Nice. So you're doing deliveries like to houses, like residential and commercial like deliveries?
Yeah, food deliveries.
Oh, nice. So you pick it up from like Whole Foods or Safeway or whatever.
Yeah,
Is it always
yeah,
Whole Foods with Amazon, right?
yeah. It's always Whole Foods.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Yeah. Well. Okay. So yeah. I mean, that's something. Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind that, then like I don't see an issue with most jobs because I imagine delivery is relatively like it's there like your day is like your job right now is probably relatively straightforward in regards to like critical thinking probably isn't like high on the list. It's relatively routine. You kind of know what to expect. You're not like trying to solve massive problems, right?
Right.
But could you see yourself doing that kind of thing for the next 30 years?
Um, Honestly, that would if I could just do this job and I don't work this job a lot because um I don't work a lot of hours there. I wish I could because the pay is pretty good, and if I could make a living off of Amazon, I would do it.
I think people
Like
do, don't they? I
unironically,
think there's
yeah.
definitely people who make a living off of Amazon.
I think I got lucky because I know a lot of people just work minimum wage in the warehouses overnight. That sounds like it sucks. My pay is pretty good, and I just don't work a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think I could like sustain myself off of this job alone.
So what you're probably going to have to do then is look for something that's a little bit more like career, not like a job, right? Like you're doing like just to do it.
Yeah.
So you were talking about environmental stuff, right?
Hmm.
So what you said you like to be out, like the idea of being outside was something that might be interesting to you.
Right. Kind of like I don't know. I know some people, some scientists like take data readings. They have to go places. That seems pretty fun. Um,
Well,
what
it
else?
depends, right? I mean, environmental science is such a big field that it really
Right.
can go so many different directions. Um, so I would say, let's see. So is there anything? Did you took environmental science, right? So you know some of
Yes, it
the
did.
topics, right, in environmental science.
Yeah.
What about those topics? Which of those topics did you like?
Um. I guess the one part I'm interested in is like renewable energy. That
Okay,
part. Yeah.
so if you're looking when you start to talk about renewable energy, you're going to be looking more at potentially like engineering, right?
Mm,
Or because when we talk about renewable energy, we're talking about things like solar, wind, and mostly the reason why those are not quite maxed out right now, like not being used as much, is because the efficiencies aren't to the level in which they're as cost effective as they could be. So a
right.
lot of what's going on there career wise is research and development. But if engineering is not something that you're interested in, because that's like a very math and physics oriented career, and a lot of that probably is computer science as well, to be honest, because a lot of modeling of things and stuff on computers. But there's also you could do there's a lot of impact analysis, right, by like jobs that are peripheral to designing the technologies. So things potentially like looking at but like efficiencies, doing calculations about like how could we if we place these here, what kinds of efficiency are we going to get, doing analysis of different placements, so understanding like what is needed for like wind turbines, so like what kind of wind is going to be needed to power these turbines and what locations could we put these at. Those are kind of things that are going to be a lot more based off of like
Yeah. I might actually have to be smart for that.
well, I mean, you'd have to pick a field and get good at that field. So most of the time, like typically, just as like a general thought, like if you want to get paid like a lot for something, you typically have to be somebody who's like really, really good at that particular thing. So a lot of people will emphasize get good at one thing, and then you can capitalize on that. But if you don't feel like you would have the energy or the ability to like really focus on one thing and get really, really good at it, you might have to do something that's a little bit lower on that. Hey,
Let's see.
knock it off. Stop. Sorry.
Makes sense.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. So energy, let's see, what is there out there? So when we talk about energy, like energy in terms of renewables, let me think. I mean, do you like to work with your hands? Because you can get in, you can get into the installation aspect of it, like be like
Right,
you know,
I'd be down for that.
like
So
construction.
I do a lot of manual labor anyways.
I mean, if that's something you like are not against, there's probably a lot of jobs out there in terms of like installation of like solar panel installing, where you would have to know the ins and outs of the solar panels, but you're not on the like R&D side of them. You're on the, you know, installation side, or maybe even servicing and repair side. So like you understand how the solar panels work and how to fix them, or or wind turbines or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's another thing where you could make like service calls. So you could work for like a solar or wind company that has like solar panels and stuff, and you could be working as a technician. That's another option. That's not really environmental science. That's more just, I mean, it's connected to environmental science simply because, you know, the industry you're in is environmental, or like hopefully improving the environment. So you could kind of get some purpose there, like, hey, you know, I'm working in an industry that's enhancing the environment. You know, I'm doing my part in regards to that.
Yeah.
And you could probably go to a lot of different locations, especially if you get into wind turbines. You might be able to even go out and start working on offshore wind turbines, right? There's a huge wind farm that's being built off the Pacific coast here near Humboldt. So that's an interesting kind of opportunity, potentially. Now, I don't know how competitive these fields are, to be honest, because I don't know much about the job market for them. So, but it's something worth looking into. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot to think about with because you're first going to have to get some degree, right? So one of the things to keep in mind is the degree you get oftentimes doesn't necessarily force you into a certain career. So a lot of times you get a degree, it's just a way to it's like a piece of paper that proves that you can stick to something for 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's like valued, right? Because a lot of people just can't stick to something for 4 years because they just don't have the focus, the energy, the dedication, the follow through. So a lot of companies, they're just like, wait, did you get a degree? You got a bachelor's degree? Okay, that means that you can at least, you know, pass classes, put in time to study, organize yourself, right? It requires some basic skills, right? Regardless of like the technical knowledge that you might acquire. So
yeah, I probably should have done some more research into like the environmental science careers, because I took like a Naviance thingy and it just said environmental science was one of my one of the picks it recommended me. So yeah.
I mean, it comes down to a lot of different things, because then there's a whole other aspect of like you could work. There's a lot of job opportunities in national park services. So if you're interested in like maintaining national parks or working with people who are visiting national parks, and if you like nature, you get to be out in national parks.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the national park, if you go to like National Park Service job opportunities, you'll see that the way that they're structured is like it's like tiered. So like you can start out as like at the bottom and kind of work your way up. And if you care, you can make more money by getting into the administrative side of it. But, you know, It's the same thing with teaching. I could make more money if I decided to become like a principal or something like that. But it's not. I don't really think that's for me. I just can't. I can't imagine doing the kind of work that is required to be an administrator. It just feels. I don't know. It doesn't feel genuine to me, and I think for me, I have to feel genuine to feel like I'm doing something useful. So Akash, I know that you wanted to join. I see you're adding me crazily. Sorry, I'm not really paying attention to chat because I'm trying to talk to Haxwell right now.
It's fine. He can join.
Okay, we'll pull him in. All right, I'm pulling you in. I'm dragging you in. Where are you? There we go. All right. What's up?
你好.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Okay. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We hear you loud and clear. We'll probably have to mute the stream because it's going to be delayed. Navion's told you to be a coroner? That's actually funny. They told you to do art and writing as far as I remember. Yeah, art and writing. That's hilarious, Akash, that I told you to do art and writing based off the fact that you're super into computer programming and like your AI programs that you're working on. I don't know about those things. No worries, Akash. We can if you can't get it to work, we can do it another time. All right, next time.
Yeah, I guess I'll do some more research into the environmental sciences field.
Yeah, it's so broad. Like, to be honest, there's so many different avenues you could go. It sounds to me like you don't mind working with your hands, being outside. There's so much out there to do environmental science-wise that is outdoors. So like I mentioned, National Park Service is something that is a governmental job. So the upside about working for governmental jobs is typically the benefits are really nice. So if you don't want to have to worry about health insurance, or you don't want to have to worry about things like, sometimes it's a pension. So if you work for the California state parks, you are a public employee in California, so you get a pension, which is a nice retirement. Now I know that when you're young, you don't really think about like pensions and health benefits, but when you trust me, you will when you start working. Like those things start to become really important. So that's something that gives you some security. It's a good job security, which is sometimes important to people.
Right. The other thing I was thinking of being, if I don't get into environmental sciences, is being a police officer.
Oof.
Or some like civil service work. Let me explain.
Well,
okay?
I'm not. My oof is not anything against police officers necessarily. It's that just right now, the thought of being a police officer with just the amount of sort of animosity from the general public towards police feels like you're going into a potentially probably the most hated profession that we have.
So here's my reasoning. So I know police officers in America is like they're pretty bad. Like in Europe, you gotta train for like 3-4 years. You gotta learn law. In the United States, they give you like 2 weeks of training and they give you a gun and they tell you to like arrest people. So
yeah,
for someone dumb like me, I'll just be a really chill police officer, just never arrest anyone.
Well, okay, dude, you have to arrest people sometimes.
But why? But everyone here abides the law. I'll just be really chill with people.
Where?
Here, where I live.
Okay, so you're assuming you would get a job in Cupertino or in Bay Area, let's say, wherever it is, wherever you're at.
Right.
Well, the problem is you might not, right? The job opportunities here might be pretty hard to come by, so you might have to move somewhere else to get an opportunity. So, typically, as far as I'm aware, the hey, knock it off. As far as I'm aware, the jobs like that are in these kinds of places tend to be the most sought after and go to seniority because of like people who want those jobs because they're cushy, they tend to pay more, they tend to have less confrontation. So a lot of times you might end up having to take a job in an area where you're going to have more crime or more confrontation. But I mean, hey man, all the more power to you if you go that route. We need good police. Like if any profession needs good people that have good morals and good like self-discipline and good, just all around just decency, it's that one, right? I mean, aside from things like politicians as well, we could use that as well. But
I can never be a politician. My conscience wouldn't be able to handle it.
no,
No.
well, you could be a good politician, but you probably wouldn't get
One
very
of the good
far.
ones, and then it's like everyone says like, oh, I'll be like one of the good ones, and they're gonna be like corrupted or something like that. Yeah.
Wait, Cupertino doesn't have police, Joe?
No
Wait.
way. There's no way.
So Cupertino as the city itself does not have a police force. Well, there's probably a Santa
that's
Clara
actually
County.
true. Yeah, that's true because yeah, I think there's a police officers from Santa Clara like go here or something like that.
The way it works is it gets sheriffs from the Santa Clara thing, so we don't have like a dedicated police station or police officer. Okay. What's up, Admiral? Admiral Cheek Clap? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, police is another route. I mean, you have to be, so the thing about being a police officer is you're going to have to be okay dealing with people at their worst, right? So you're everybody you come into contact typically does not want to see you unless you're responding to like a crime in progress or something, right?
Right.
You also have to deal with the stigma currently about it. It's got good benefits. You can typically retire early with a good pension. So financially, it's pretty decent. It's weird because in the past, police officers were much more respected than they are today. Like in the past, if you told someone you were a retired police officer, people would be like, oh, let me buy you a drink, or, this one's on me, like all that kind of stuff,
Yeah, it's the same thing with the army. Like I know the army also has like a pretty bad reputation.
Oh, okay.
It's like everyone. Well, at least from people I know, everyone just thinks the army recruits poor kids to like fight to defend some oil fields in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Not really fighting for freedom anymore.
So the problem is the military is so here's the thing. Any career that is it gets politically charged is going to have that problem, right? So right now police are politically charged because of the incidences of racial discrimination, or people of color being unequally treated by the police officer. Our criminal justice system is sort of overrepresented with people of color, like these kinds of things, right? So it becomes a political and social kind of issue that bleeds into the career. So same thing with the military, right? People are foreign policy of invading, or not invading, quote unquote invading, but like going into countries and where people don't agree with the reasoning and stuff like that. You're gonna get that. So
yeah, that is a point I had to think about.
But ultimately at the end of the day, how much do you care about that? I mean, it's probably not most people. I think right now most of the vitriol or hate for military and police comes from a lot of like online people. I think in your day-to-day life, I don't think you would experience it that much. I think a lot of stuff is like enhanced due to like online social media. So
like animosity, stuff like that. That is a good point. Yeah.
So I don't know if I would be overly worried about it, but it is something to consider, Peter, or no, Paul, sorry, Paul, that's you. Nice. What's up, Paul? How you doing, man? Nice to hear from you again. Peter doesn't have the chaotic neutral energy to be a politician.
Yeah, I can't be a politician.
Yeah, so
chaotic neutral.
Wait, are politicians chaotic neutral? I feel like politicians are definitely so chaotic
not just evil. I think they're just evil or lawful evil.
Lawful evil, yeah, could be. Some of them are lawful evil. Again, that's stereotyping. I think there's definitely some good ones out there. Why do we spend so much money on the military? That's a very difficult question. There's a lot of reasons behind that. Depending on who you ask, you'll get vastly different answers.
That's mostly because the United States can deploy its army anywhere at any time. No other nation can really do that.
Yeah. So, well, the reason,
I mean, like across the world, I meant.
Sure. Right. Yeah. But the reason is like, why do we want that? Why do we want that ability to be able to do that? Right. And there's a lot of good reasons, but a lot of people will say that it's not good. Right. So, for example, it's good because people kind of have to do what we say. Right. It gives us power on the global scale because people can't mess with us because we have so much strength.
Yeah, it's good when our nation has nuclear weapons, but bad when others have it. That's the logic.
Right. You always want to be the top dog, so to speak, in terms of like being able to get what you want. Now, other people would say that that's not a good reason to do it, and there might be valid reason for that. But the problem is, I have no idea what goes on a global scale. I don't know what the conversations are that happen between different leaders of different countries. Like, I really don't know how much would change. Like, if we just cut the military budget by like 50%. What would happen globally? Would other countries just start doing crazy stuff, and now all of a sudden, because the U.S. is no longer in charge, people just start doing crazy stuff? Or would it just be like people were like, hey, actually, we weren't going to do anything anyway, and you were just kind of overspending? It's like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on at that level.
I think I know that like, since the U.S. spends so much money on its carriers, it kind of serves as a deterrence to certain nations, like China, because you know how China's like trying to take over the South China Sea, making artificial islands and stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah, it kind of, if we spend, I mean, I do think we spend too much of our military, but if we downsize it a lot, I feel like that kind of gives a green light for some nations to step out of their boundaries, or nations that don't like the United States or are opposed to it.
Yeah, I think, but yeah, and so a lot of people would, I guess, the counter to that, like I would be that maybe that might be something that's true, but I think a lot of people might argue that we're doing a lot of other things aside from that is negative with our military, and people will point to different sort of wars, like they'll point to the Iraq War as like just, oh, we just use our military there, and we use 9/11 as like an excuse to go into a country where we can secure more oil rights so we can get oil for cheaper from these Middle Eastern countries. Like, people will talk about, we use it as a way to get things cheaper by force, so to speak, and people don't like that. And I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know enough about political science and about foreign policy and about what's going on to know. So it's out of my. So I typically don't like to talk about things that I don't have complete understanding about.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't really have any other questions. Thanks for, it was nice talking to you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime you want to chat, just come on and I'll pull you in and we'll talk a little bit.
Okie doke. Bye, Mr. Jones. I'm gonna go eat dinner now.
All right. Later, Peter.
See ya.
All right, it's 8:50. What else? All right. I gotta work on this game a little bit, but let me see real quick. I need to build these carbon nanotubes because I need to make these purple cubes. And to make these cubes, I need processors, which I already have, and I need these particle broadbands, which I don't have. But to make the particle broadbands, I need carbon nanotubes, which I don't have. But I do have graphene, and I do have titanium ingots. So I can make these. Do I also have plastic? Yes. Do I have, what are those things? Crystal silicon. I do not have that, so I got to make that. All right, so I got to set up some smelting operations for crystal silicon and some chemical facilities to make carbon nanotubes. Crystal silicon and carbon nanotubes. Got it. Do I play chess? No. I mean, I know how to play chess. I played chess. I am not studied. So I would say not really. I feel like chess is one of those games that you play where it's like it's to me when I watch people play chess at high levels, everything is the game is so meta because it's been around for so long that it feels like it would just take forever to get to a point where you could even be competitive. But then again, I mean, it's probably fun to just play against people who are not at that level, just like any game. All right, so how do I make these? I need... Oh wait, I can make these with either ingots or ore. And I have a bunch of ore sitting over here. Wait, what the heck? What am I doing? I'm wasting all this ore. Actually, wait, this is perfect. This is actually good. All right, I've got massive amounts of solar panels. I don't need to make more solar panels for right now. Admiral a cheek a clap. You also feel that the U.S. has entered into something like a self-fulfilling prophecy when it comes to the military because of the connections that have been created between the higher-ups and the military. Therefore, I think it's difficult to downsize the mills for that reason. The connections that have been made between the higher-ups and the military. I don't. When you say the connections between the higher-ups and the military, what do you mean? Do I think that games like chess and Go could become solved? Isn't that... I mean, theoretically, yes, right? The answer is... Isn't the answer theoretically yes? I thought there's not an unlimited number of moves on a chessboard. I mean, there's an insane number of moves, but it's not, like, infinite. I think... Akash, you would probably know more, right? Because Akash, you're in the AI world, right? So if it's going to get solved, it's going to be solved by an AI for sure. But the question is, can we create an AI that's powerful enough to solve something as insane as chess in terms of its just the sheer number of moves that it has and possibilities? Like, what is the like permutations, right? Given that the typical chess game has a branching factor of about 35 and lasts 80 moves, the number of possible moves is vast. About 35 to the 80th power, or 10 to the 120, aka the Shannon number. After the Bell Laboratory pioneer Claude Shannon, who not only invented information theory but also wrote the first paper on how to program. Let's look at this. Oops, where's that? Wait, where did it go? There. On how to program a machine to play chess. 10 to the 123rd is insane. But Go's complexity is bigger, much bigger. With its breadth of 250 possible moves each turn, Go is played on a 19 by 19 board compared to the 8 by 8 chess field and a typical game depth of 150 moves, so 10 to the 360th. This is a number beyond imagination and renders any thought of exhaustively evaluating all possible moves utterly and completely unrealistic. Yeah, I think this number is too high. That's a good point, Haxwell. How many atoms in the universe? How many atoms in the universe? I mean, 10 to the 80th. Holy, so there's more chess moves than there are atoms in the universe. Right? Because the chess moves is 10 to 123. All right, Haxwell, have a good night, man. You mean that, for example, that the army favors conservatives because they promote their budget and therefore improve the way of life, whereas the left wants to downsize the army? Oh, I see what you're saying. So there's like one political party. So there's a set of people who tend to align with the conservative Republican political party, who like having a strong military and who will favor it. So the people that work in the military are obviously, it's in their best interest to continue to push for and elect, if they can, in some way or another, these people that will get them their funding. Because if you think about it, it's not going to be easy to downsize the military. If you cut the military budget by 50%, what you really have done there is you've cut, it's a lot more than just, like, the military is a lot more than what people think it is, right? The military is like, it is the Army and the Navy and the Air Force and the Navy SEALs and these sort of like units of deployable people, but it's also a lot of research and development. Like, I think I'm pretty sure that a lot of technology comes from military applications first and then trickles into general society, right? So like the military, not only is it for defense, but it's also R&D. There's a lot of bureaucracy too, so a lot of people would lose jobs. It's way more complex than just sort of defunding the military. But, in the end, I think when you think about just because a lot of people rely on the military for jobs doesn't mean that therefore we should just keep it, because there's no point in keeping something just because people have a job. Like, it has to actually have a good use. But I think things like the R&D for the military is good. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much because, again, I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to the military stuff. I also don't like to get too political. I think something that I've learned in my life, just from looking into topics and trying to become more informed on a lot of things, is like, once you learn just how complicated most things are, you start to get very gun shy about commenting on things that you don't really have a huge grasp on, because you realize your understanding is so small compared to what's really going on, that you really have no place commenting on something unless you really know it and really understand it. So I try to avoid those things. What's up, Grace? Nice to see you again. It's been a while. I remember you used to jump on a lot in the beginning. We were playing Minecraft. Have I played Teamfight Tactics? No, I have not. Teamfight Tactics. Is that the one? Is that the one that looks like a chessboard? Yeah, I've seen people playing this one. Is this basically like a mix of chess and like Hearthstone or something like that? Or I don't know. Okay, got those. Akash, so aside from computing moves, you would need a way to store the possibility, so solving it by brute force is extremely difficult, if not impossible. So if you go for an AI solving chess, depends on your definition, because an AI is not generally deterministic using standard machine learning approaches like Q-learning or PPO, or neat. So if your definition of solving chess means it will always win against a human, then yes, it can be solved. But if your definition of solving chess is always winning without mistakes, then it's much harder. Okay, makes sense. Auto chess. Wait, auto chess? It's far more simple than chess. You pick units that are given to everybody. Yeah, I've never heard of auto chess. Plastics, and then carbon nanotubes, which needs titanium and graphene. So titanium is over here. Titanium is splitting. Wait, where's my graphene being produced? Graphene. Is that over here? Is this graphene? Yes, graphene. What is this graphene? Oh, these things get filled up. Shoot. What do I do with this stuff? This hydrogen stuff is really annoying. It just like has no use. It doesn't seem like it has a use. It just like builds up. What do you use? So the units then fight random enemy players in the match. You can't control the units, and that's what it's called. Oh, okay. Okay, so you pick your units at the start, and then you just sort of make moves, and they just go. Wait, is it like you pick your units at the beginning, and then the game just unfolds, and you're just watching it, or are you actually interacting with it?
Build my items, and like for me, I want to try to put like kind of tank item onto Caston, but I don't think I have anything I want to combine with it. He's gonna be my front line for a little bit, so I decided to give him some armor, and in the future with a different item, I'll combine it onto Caston to do something. But I pretty much think to myself, I'm never gonna replace Caston, because I'm gonna go sorcerers, and if I do, I can just sell him and get the item back. And you see the item system is really nice. If you hover over any item on top of a unit with an item, you get to see the combination and what it does. So you can just think about that in the game. And unfortunately, in this situation, the first round.
Grace, do you recommend this game? Do you play it? Is it fun?
And the Garen is 2-star. Garen went off and then just destroyed me. It's okay.
Wait.
Lulu's ulti is exactly the same in game. It gives you a little bit of health boost and knocks people up for a little bit. The other
Is it
player
on
had 2
Steam?
knights, 1
Where
ranger,
is this?
and he had 4 units, so he leveled up.
Wait, it's an app. Wait, is this actually a PC game or is this an app?
Yeah, I'm not too worried here.
Oh, it's a Riot game.
Yeah, so right now the biggest thing I'm worried about is like the game is important. It requires you to build frontline, and so I wanted to build frontline to make sure.
Oh, this is an old
that I can go through the
gameplay
early
footage.
game easily. So the 2 best front lines early game are brawlers as well as knights.
Oh, this is 2 years almost. This is like a year and a half ago.
Knights and like 2 2-star brawlers, 1 1-star brawler. Brawlers. Like right now, Veigar's casting is so fast.
Dude, is this kind of like a turn-based RPG, like
which is hilarious.
Final Fantasy kind of thing?
Veigar is legit killing everyone. I just need bodies in front of him.
It's like Final Fantasy meets chess.
So we're
Am I
just
getting
trying
that
to
right?
go for so many 3-stars at the same time, which honestly isn't
They
very
updated the
good.
game to have a new sets and units.
Oh, I rolled over the
You need to
Caston,
download
which
League of
is
Legends.
So bad for me. I'm looking for a 3-star Caston.
Okay.
And then I decided,
oh, really?
like,
It's a League of Legends
like,
knockoff,
it sucks that I missed
or
it.
not
And I'm
knockoff,
so
or League of
deep now
Legends
that I don't know what I
spin-off,
want
so to
anymore.
speak. Does it have
I
the same
decided to keep rolling,
characters, like the same heroes
and we
and
ended
stuff?
up finding Alessandra, which is great.
You can't control
too.
the characters. Okay.
And actually, watch where Daisy gets spawned here. I didn't realize. I don't know how Daisy spawns. I realized it spawns on next to
Maybe I will try it, Grace. It's pretty fun. Is it so? Tell me this: is it chiller than League of Legends? Like League of Legends for me, it was just a little bit too much in terms of just like it's fun. It was fun, but it was just too much for me. I like to be able to take my time in a game. So for example, like this game I'm playing right here, Dyson Sphere program. Like there's no rush. Like it's go at your own pace, and I really enjoy it because I'm just trying to I like to kind of be able to just do this, and the games that I like to play games that don't require full attention. Like I like a game where I can play the game and then on my second monitor, I watch something that I find interesting, like a YouTube video or listen to a podcast or something where I'm sort of multitasking a little bit. That's the way I like decompress. That's my like relaxed time is when I play a game like this where it takes some of my attention, but at the same time I can listen to something. Right, which is why I like these games when I stream, because I can play these games and also like interact with the chat, you know. All right, so this graphene stuff, I don't have enough graphene because it's for sure. The reason I don't have enough graphene is because this is all getting backed up. Oh, that's annoying. How do I just stack more chests? That starts this going. But you can multitask, I guess. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a try. Thanks for the recommendation, Grace. Appreciate it. You can't stop in the middle, though. Right, it's PvP, right? So you're playing against another player, so you can't just bounce in the middle. Akash, at this point in every game you play, you try to find a way to beat the AI. Akash, I feel like you and AI are both friends and enemies. You try to make AI, but you secretly want to control it. Akash, is your biggest fear being controlled by AI? Is that your biggest fear? What in God's name is going on right now? I'm getting spammed with, what is this? What are these things? Furries? Foxes? Oh, it was a raid. It was a raid. Oh, I didn't see the raid. 52. Gamer Fox. Thanks for the raid. Holy cow. It's a raid. They're foxes. No, the raid did go through. The problem is, Gamer Fox right now is because I was doing earlier in my stream, I was doing office hours. So I'm a high school teacher. So I do on Wednesdays, I stream office hours to answer students' questions. So on those days, like today, I stream to both Twitch and YouTube so that students can come to me on both. So when I do that, I'm looking at restream chat, so I don't see the raid. Make sense? Any other day I would have caught it, but thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. 52 people is a lot. Are you guys furries? Is that a thing, or is that just like a meme? Am I Walter White? No, if I was, so Walter White, right? So Walter White is the, chemistry teacher who breaks bad and goes and cooks meth because he has to pay for his cancer treatment and he doesn't want to leave his parents, or not his parents, his family with the debt. I'm a biology teacher and an environmental science teacher. And I've always thought, what if I became the Walter White of biology and environmental science, where I, instead of breaking bad and making meth, I break bad and grow mushrooms. Two things. First, mushrooms are way more chill than meth, right? They're non-addicting. They can tend to open you up to new experiences. They have medicinal purposes. New research is going into them. They're from the earth. They're natural. Some mushrooms you can cook with. They taste great. So that's where I would be. That's where I would be at. That would be my move. If I was gonna break bad, I would mush mad. Mushing Mad. That's my TV show. Mushing Mad with Mr. Jones. But why would I need to do it? What would be my motive? So in Breaking Bad, he made meth for what? To cover his cancer treatment, right? His chemotherapy. What would I need the money for? Maybe not chemotherapy, but just like mental therapy to help me with my like internal issues. Biology teacher grows mushrooms and takes profits to help with dealing with his past traumas through therapy. It's a much more chill thing. I don't know. What do you think? Potential pilot in the making for something like that? I'm just riffing. All right, what was I doing? I was making more of these, so I got to siphon my nanotubes over there. Okay. As long as the money's going towards doing good. Yes, I would always do that. I mean, ultimately, that's what Walter White was attempting to do. Obviously, I mean, if you watch the whole series, that took he went from taking the money to do something good to then getting like, becoming like, oh, I want to be a kingpin. He let the power and money get to him. And he quite literally became the evil guy that no one saw coming. Actually, wait, I don't need smelters. I need chemical treatment plants. You keep setting up assemblers and forgetting to attach sorters. Dijane, is the XL pipeline more efficient than having semis truck the oil? Oh, wow, that's a good question. I wish I knew more to give you the answer to that question. Let me think about this. Is the pipeline more efficient than having semis truck the oil? I would argue probably if you were to go in the long run, the answer is yes, because think about this, right? In order to truck the oil using semis, you have to, those trucks are powered by oil. So you're using some of the oil in the process of moving it. So there's already an efficiency loss right there, right? You're taking some of the oil off the top to reach the destination. Now, of course, setting up the pipeline requires a lot of energy in the initial setup phase. But like once you have the pipeline established, probably requires a little bit of energy for like maintenance. And I don't know exactly how it works. You might need to like have some pumps in there or something like that to push it along. But in general, I would argue that long term, a pipeline would probably be better. Now, the problem with a pipeline though is, but actually you might have these same issues with semis. The thing I was thinking with a pipeline is you could have like habitat fragmentation. When you build this pipeline, you're going to be like splitting potential habitats, which could affect, populations from being able to interbreed. Could have issues with biodiversity. Could also cause issues with like habitat destruction during the process of building the pipeline. I mean, both aren't good. I mean, if you were to really ask me which of the two, I'd probably lean towards the pipeline. But ultimately, obviously, we probably should try and transition away from using oil in the first place and move towards renewables. And from what I understand, I have a little bit of a controversial take, even though I don't think it should be controversial. I think nuclear power is something that's dismissed too quickly in the dialogue around environmental issues. People just don't like nuclear because of its history of issues, which I understand. But if you just really want to bring down the carbon in the atmosphere, I mean, nuclear is your go-to thing. We already have the technology for it. I mean, it costs a lot of money to set it up, but Blue Squid. I like that name, Blue Squid. Trucks are less likely to burst, though. True. Yeah, I think nuclear power gets a really bad rap. Yeah, France runs on it. I I think doesn't Germany? Wait, hold on. Doesn't Germany? Hold on. Germany nuclear power. I thought Germany is pretty good with their nuclear power. Germany. Whoa, wait a minute. Germany is phasing out nuclear power. Wait, Germany is phasing out nuclear power? Let's just closures and phase out. During the chancellorship of Gerhard Schröder, the Social Democrat government has decreed Germany's final retreat from using nuclear power by 2022, but the phase-out plan was initially delayed in 2020. What are they transitioning to? Wait, what are they transitioning to? Does anyone know? I don't know if I want to just read this entire Wikipedia article to figure it out right now. I teach Peach. I teach so I teach biology, which is a freshman class, so ninth graders, and then I teach AP Environmental Science, which is juniors and seniors. So kind of across the board from a high school level. Akash, you prefer fusion over fission? Yeah, well, we don't really have fusion perfected yet, though, do we? True, Nefer. Too many people immediately think of Chernobyl when nuclear power comes up. Yeah, that's the problem. Another thing that comes up a lot is people, I think, a little bit overreact to just the nuclear waste. Now, of course, the spent fuel rods are problematic, right? But for the most part, we can store these things underground in like very like tight sealed bunkers, and it's not necessarily like we don't have enough space for it. I mean, we already store a lot of waste in different ways anyway. And I've also heard that there's a lot of things coming, a lot of developments around utilizing these spent fuel rods as like secondary energy sources in some way. So like kind of recycling them, which would be an interesting twist. Thanks for the follow, Wild Barrel. Appreciate you. So, yeah, Chernobyl is pretty rough. Actually, I was born in the year that Chernobyl happened. And the funny thing about that is that my mom always blames that the quote unquote way I turned out on the radiation coming over from Chernobyl and affecting me in the womb. She's like, it was that damn radiation from Chernobyl that did it. I'm like, okay, I'm sure that is not going to be an effect at all. I think she's being sarcastic. She's just trying to have a little bit of fun. Wait, okay. Any of you raiders that just came from Gamer Fox, any of you guys know, if you play Dyson Sphere program, I'm assuming you came from that, I'm having issues with a huge backup of hydrogen. Like, so all of my crude oil that gets refined, right? You split it into refined oil and hydrogen. Like, I can't get enough refined oil because I'm having storage issues with all this hydrogen that I don't have any use for. Burn it? Wait, is there hydrogen reactors here? Wait, did you just unlock something that I didn't? Wait, where's the hydrogen Wait, in energy? Accumulator? What do you burn it? Do you just burn it in a thermal power station? Thanks, Admiral Cheek Clap. I'm glad you think I turned out fine. I appreciate you. Hey, buddy. Sorry, my dog is just... I'm gonna let him go. Go. My girlfriend just got home, so my dog is barking to go say hi. I just got a puppy on Saturday. So 3-month-old pit mix. Boy named Jameson. I've been potty training this week and I've been trying to like sleep and potty train is really tough. To get up like every couple hours, clean up poop. Oof, been rough, but it's been good. You guys want to see the puppy? Here, actually, let me show you. Hey, can you bring puppy over here real quick? I want to show him. This is Jameson. Give you a quick peek. A quick peek. This is the pup, Jameson. What's up, buddy? Yeah, he's sleepy. Yeah. Oh, you cutie. Yeah, Jameson. He's a cutie. 3 months old. Pit mix from a rescue. Oh, I'm gonna let him down. He's got energy. Thanks. A big puppy. Yeah, he's 3 months. He's probably, we haven't weighed him yet. He's probably like 20 pounds, maybe a little less than 20. He'll probably turn out to be, my guess, 50 to 60 pounds. I'm hoping something like that. Okay, so I can burn this. All right, hold on a second. You'll need lots of hydrogen later, but for now it's free energy. And if someone else stores better in a fluid. Yeah, okay. So I guess I didn't even think that hydrogen could be stored in a fluid tank. But I guess hydrogen is a fluid if you compress it, right? I always think of hydrogen as a gas, which again you would store in a tank because a gas is technically. Wow, I'm glad you guys rated just for that piece of knowledge. Oh my god. So I got to build some fluid tanks. And I'll transition these in there and that'll clear up everything. It's liquid hydrogen, okay. So the problem is I don't really need these thermal plants because I have a setup where I'm going pure solar. So I at each pole on my planet, I have like a solar array. So if I fly up here to the pole, like these are powering me pretty well. I have like this setup up here and I have another one on the opposite pole. And these have been doing pretty well. So like my power, like I am overpowered right now by a lot. So power is not really an issue for me. I kind of went hard on the solar power. Gases and liquids are both fluids. That's true. Physics will tell you that. I remember that from my physics classes. Okay, so wait, where am I going? So I want to store all that. So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to let's go ahead and switch these. Just stack it. Also, the one thing that I've struggled with actually a lot is what I should really do is transition to higher marks, like let's do this real quick. I should transition to better, like faster conveyor belts and upgrade my assemblers and all that stuff. I've just been lazy. Hopefully this will just get stuff going in there really fast. Just fill it up. Fill it up. All right, cool. That's really important. So thank you guys for that. That's going to help me a lot. So that'll allow me to start making more graphene, which will allow us to help me to make carbon nanotubes and all that. Yeah, so I'm at yellow cubes right now. So I got to yellow cubes and now I'm on my way to purple, but I'm curious if any of you know when is a good idea to start like pushing the upgrades, faster assemblers, faster conveyor belts, like going from Mark 1 to Mark 3. Like, is that something you would want to do now? Like, as I'm transitioning to trying making purple cubes, like mid-game or end-game? I don't know. Like, the slow stuff is still working. I mean, I don't know. I guess it probably depends on how I want to play. Like, do I want to, like, max out my efficiency so that, like, every single thing is working at high peak efficiency, like, calculate the conveyor belt speeds, calculate the assembly rates, you know, and the mining rates and perfectly max everything out? Not really. I play this game more just for kind of chilled out way. More chill. So if it's working, it seems fine. And I'd have to kind of set up more infrastructure to build these upgrades, but I don't know. If you push R while laying belts, it will snap to the opposite corner. Oh, nice. Didn't know that. Voyboy, as someone who is majoring in environmental science, I previously thought the Green New Deal was something that was really good, but after learning more about it, it seems like it's not truly possible. Right now, technology renewables are just not at that point, and fossil fuels are needed in our current world. Do you have any thoughts on this? Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. The Green New Deal is, no one in their right mind really thinks the Green New Deal is something that can be implemented right now. It's too radical. Right, so like I think it was what AOC, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, was the one that kind of was the main author of it, or at least the main proponent of it, and it was something that she used. And I know some other politicians kind of jumped on it, but like, yeah, it's too extreme. It's extreme. It kind of tries to like jump from like point A to point Z without kind of taking intermediate steps. And like I understand the sentiment, like I agree with the sentiment, but a lot of the problem is, especially with younger people, young people in their, teens and 20s who are, coming of age and learning about environmental issues and feel like, we need to change now, just don't quite understand that things take a long time. Like momentum is already going in one direction, right? Fossil fuels have huge momentum behind them. Everything is built around fossil fuels, right? We have all the infrastructure. And so to shift that is a slow process. It's like akin to like turning a giant Titanic vessel. It takes a long time, but a lot of people think we can just like, okay, we got it right now, just solar and wind, and that's it. And it's no fossil fuels. It's like, it's not the way the world works. And it's not the way politics work. Politics is politics is a game of like incremental moves towards your goal, right? And the problem is you have people on the other side that try to balance that. So you just got to like do like small little moves. And so it's about compromise, unfortunately, right? Even though we would like to kind of move really hard in one direction, that's just not the way the system works. And realistically, you probably wouldn't want it to work that way. You probably wouldn't want it to be able to radically shift within a few years. Because if it can radically shift in a few years, it's probably not great for the system, right? Things just, from a like infrastructure standpoint, take a long time to build and set up. The technology isn't quite there yet either, right? I mean, it's getting there. It's got some more time. And then the other thing to consider is if it did switch like that, you have to be okay with it swinging really quickly towards things that other people want that you don't. Right, so it probably wouldn't be good for anybody if the system just went like back and forth. Like that's just chaos. So you want things to sort of slowly move in directions. Now, I understand the urgency with something like climate change, because of course, climate change is one of those things where we don't really have the kind of time we would like. So unfortunately, climate change is moving faster than our political system is, and probably even faster than our technology is in terms of renewables. So I understand the urgency, but the worry is that if you try to go too fast, you actually might alienate people who otherwise would have been on your side, right? And it might collapse you in the end. So it's a very careful game of doing things at a pace that's fast enough, but not too fast to sort of mess things up. I don't know. That's my answer there. Also, Mark III sorters are the only ones that can benefit from the sorter cargo stacking upgrade. Oh, okay. Makes sense, Blue Squid. You push as fast as possible, not having to worry about the belt shorter speed. Okay. That's true, Blue. It's kind of like if you just get your everything maxed out and you have the infrastructure set up to have it maxed out, then you just move forward with the game and you don't have to think about like, oh wait, these are, this is old tech. I agree. I should do that. True Nefer. Whenever I have a hydrogen shortage, I keep thinking, how am I short on hydrogen? It's the most abundant element in the universe. Yeah, that's true. True. True that. Wild Barrel, with the way our government works, though, you need to ask for the moon when you want something and settle for Oklahoma and then go from there. If you ask for what you actually think is feasible, you're never going to get anywhere at any speed that matters. That's true. No, I agree with that. But the problem is a lot of people ask for the moon and won't settle for anything less. They go for the moon, and then if someone offers them, like, you know, like something in between, it's like an all or nothing kind of thing. Right? And that's the mentality that I think needs to be avoided. But the problem is a lot of young people who are like really extreme in their views and think that they can get the moon are being unrealistic. I agree with you 100% that if you like, when it's like, you know, what is it, the art of the deal, you ask for like twice what you actually want, so that when you negotiate you get to the point where you want it. So makes sense. Oh, by the way, another question. I've been running my mech on coal this whole time. Is there a better, like, it's been kind of annoying having to run it back and forth to my coal storage. Is there a better way to deal with that? I know that there's these things. These power towers that charge your mech. But the problem with these is energetic graphite is better than straight coal. Oh, dang. You can also use hydrogen for that. Never, I feel like that's like, what is that meme? Shoot, I feel like that sounds like a meme where it's like there's something you can just use. It's like duct tape, right? Duct tape is just used for everything. All right. Graphite is much better until you get hydrogen fuel cells. Okay, so I should go graphite. It just probably lasts longer, right? All right. That sounds good. I'm taking notes. I'm learning. This raid has increased my knowledge of this game dramatically. So what I should do, maybe before I push for purple cells, purple cubes, is start transitioning to graphite fuel and also maybe build infrastructure to upgrade my belts. I also need to get better at using planetary logistic systems instead of belts. The item shows you... Oh yeah, there's an app for that. That's another one. That makes sense. That's another one. Let's see. The item shows you the fuel quality specs when you hover over it. Okay. Fuel quality specs. So like if I hover over energetic graphite. Fuel chamber... the fuel chamber generation 60%. So what are the fuels? You have hydrogen, coal, also like wood, biomass, graphite, energetic graphite. Oh, these things too, huh? These cubes. Fuel chamber generation -20. These are not good. So what's coal? 0%. Yikes. So this is energetic graphite 60% more efficient. Wait, energy 6.3 megajoules, 2.7 megajoules. So it's more energy and it's higher fuel chamber generation. Okay, good to know. What is hydrogen? Whoa, wait, hydrogen is better. But look, hydrogen is 8 megajoules and 100% fuel chamber generation. Energetic graphite is less megajoules and less fuel chamber generation. So why wouldn't I just use all this extra hydrogen? Oh, it works, but the small stack sizes make it not worthwhile. I got it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. If you can set up a hydrogen fuel cell assembler, even if it doesn't work well, just as long as it works, so you have some hand for Mac. Okay. Okay, so I should set up a... Hold on a sec. Do I even have the tech for a hydrogen fuel cell? I do. I already have hydrogen fuel rods. Wait, it's hydrogen... Oh my god, 40 megajoules and 200% fuel gen. That's insane. All right, we're making these. I did not want to have to go back and get coal nonstop. So hydrogen and titanium. I got that. Oh, easy peasy. Let's do that. Are we kidding me? It made an assembler. All right, we're going fuel rods. Man, this is insane. All right, hydrogen fuel rod. So let's go. Where's my titanium? Here's my titanium. Let's go ahead and come down this way. So titanium and oh yeah, all I have to do is run this thing over there. All right, I think tonight my goal is to get these hydrogen fuel cells set up. And then tomorrow, maybe I'll just spend some time tomorrow I'll probably spend some time getting my upgrading to Mark III belts and assemblers. Wait, so what are the things that you can upgrade? So mining, there's no additional mining upgrades. There's upgraded sorters, upgraded assembling machines, and upgraded belts. Right? That's the only things that you can upgrade. Oh, and upgraded storage. Belts, sorters, assemblers, and storage. Does anything else upgrade? Okay, just those 4. So like so for this, it just requires 2 of the previous sorter plus a component. Or 3. Oh wait, hold on. 3. Actually, I should be able to make these pretty easily, to be honest. I should just set up, what I should really do is just set up production lines that just make this and then this and then this, and just have like some storage chests that just start stacking up a bunch of these conveyor belts, these sorters, and these assembling machines. That's probably what I should do. So just build the infrastructure for it, and then what I'll do is once I have those set up and getting a bunch of them stored, then what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll just upgrade everything that I already have, which will take forever though. I've got a literal spaghetti factory of conveyor belts that I'll have to upgrade. But hey, it's probably worth it. Probably worth it, like most things. Initial investment pays off in long run dividends. So let's go ahead and get this set up. So we'll take our hydrogen. Mark III assemblers might be a bit much. Mark II are nice though. I feel like Mark III are when you need to save space in huge builds. Okay. Blue, I feel like you are, so it looks like Blue, Wild Barrel, and True Nefer are experienced Dyson Sphere program players. You have a lot of information, and you seem to have a good grasp of like the mechanics of the game. Have you guys yeah, this is my first playthrough, True, and let's just say this, I am very disappointed with with this. Like all of this stuff. Like I've just sort of watched a couple other videos of people, and what they've done is it seems like they've set it up in such a streamlined way where they use like planetary logistics to send things from the mining to the smelting, and then they have a whole area for this and a whole area for that. Everything is just nicely organized into nice rows, and it just looks really clean. And then I come and look at mine, and it's just like things plopped everywhere. But I guess the problem is like when you start first playing, you don't really know where things are headed. So you're just like, well, I need this, so build this. Then I need this and build this. You're playing very much with no foresight. You're playing like moment to moment, which maybe means I play once through like this and then start another game and go for like a nice, clean, efficient factory build. You started launching 700 solar cells a minute last night, working on 10-sec green science build now. Nice. So are you guys mostly have played one game? Or have you played once through and it started over again. Wildbird, you got 100 hours. 100 hours? What do I have? Let me see. 36. I have 36 hours. But keep in mind that a lot of my hours are not productive hours, because when I stream sometimes and I'm answering questions, I'm not building anything. I'm literally doing this. I'm like jumping on crates while I'm talking to my students. Then I jump on, like, I'm just like jumping around. So, but anyway, your home planet is a mess. I don't go there anymore. That's true, right? Part of me was thinking, well, I could just set up interstellar logistics systems. I have one, and that's literally just for silicon and titanium from another planet. But like, I could set up a whole nother planet, and that's more streamlined thinking forward. There's enough stars to start fresh a few times. Okay. Huh. You're in the process of finishing your first sphere right now. Nice. I haven't even gotten to thinking about the spheres yet. I'm kind of like just trying to like make it through. Oh, wait, I set these up all wrong. These I want. Wait, I want. Wait, okay, hold on. I got lost track of it. I'm trying to make these fuel rods, right? So I just need titanium and hydrogen. So I just really need 2 in and 1 out. So actually this 2 in and 1 out. Yeah, hold on. These are wrong. Let me just put these back. Let's go like this. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then run this down. And then run this. Oop. I'm gonna run out of energy soon. I gotta get these fuel rods going before I run out of energy. Do I play Satisfactory? No, I've seen it. So my first ever like production line slash, I don't know, what do they call these kind of games? Is it production line games? Wait, what am I doing? Oh my god, I'm stupid. These are chemical plants. I need assemblers. My first introduction to these like assembly-like games, factory games, was Factorio. That was the first one I ever played. And I'd never played a game like it, and I found myself enjoying it. And like, there's something about like these kind of games that I don't know what it is, but it's satisfying to like set these things up, and it feels very like, there's a momentum to it that you want to like keep building and keep building. They're very satisfying, and I had never played this genre before, and I'm like become hooked. So I'll probably buy Satisfactory, and then what's the other one that's out right now? Akash, it says playtime on the default screen, which I'm not sure is the greatest tactic. What do you mean by that, Akash? Once you get a factory building all the belts and buildings, you can just go anywhere and request them to build. Logistics, nice. What do you like to do? True Neffer. For the components, slash buildings with only 2 ingredients, I have a PLS, Planetary Logistics Ask, for the ingredients and provide the result. For example, I have one that asks for iron and copper and produces circuits for the rest of the network. Okay, you call them automation games. Yeah, that makes sense. Factory simulation. This is very much a I'll play for a few. Is that the sun? Yeah, exactly. This one, so I don't know about you if you guys have played Factorio, but so far I like this game better than Factorio. I like the graphics of this game. I like the idea of the Dyson sphere kind of thing. This one's been really fun. I've really liked this one. And also Factorio gave me an introduction, so I kind of knew what I was getting into with this one, so I had a little bit of head start, which was nice. Satisfactory definitely lives up to the name, very satisfactory. What's the other one that's out right now? Hold on, what's the other one? It's wait, if we look at our a Steam how do you look at like games that are similar to this? Let's look up Dyson Sphere program. You go to Dyson Sphere program and then you go like, how do you look at, oh, automation games, that's right. Okay, I don't know how Steam works as far as like looking at games that are similar to this game. What if we do like games like Factorio? There's one that's out there that I'm trying to remember the name of. Oh, someone recommended Subnautica to me the other day. Maybe I'll try Subnautica. Might be new though. I don't know. I forget. Whatever. Fuel rods. Oh no, this is all off by one. Okay, that's annoying. Put this one out on this side. I think one of the reasons why I like this game better than Factorio is it feels like Factorio was really limited in terms of like the slots that you could put things in to the assembly machines and things like that. So I always felt like I was running out of spaces. So I had to plan a lot more how to get the conveyor belts there. But with this game, it's kind of like you can go up and over, and these things will these sorters stretch for like three slots outwards, which is nice. Subnautica is good, Akash. Yeah, I should try that too for sure. It seems like that one's more of like a first person kind of thing too, which is kind of nice. All right, let's just do this. Let's just get this thing going because I need these cores right now. I'm out of energy. Perfect timing. Oh no, it's not going to let me build. I don't know. He's had so much energy.
Right now.
Wait, did you give him a bath?
No.
Oh, he's all wet.
I need to sprinkle some water.
Oh,
on his
okay.
head. He wanted to take a shower. I think.
Did he pee in there? He peed on there again? I don't know. It's okay. That's true. I can take some. Yeah, that's a good point. Wait, actually, Wild Barrel, how do you take a fuel cell off of the line without deleting the line? Is it possible to not delete the conveyor belt, or do you just have to delete the conveyor belt? Like, how do you? Oh, you just do that. Never mind. Figured it out. Look at that. So let's go ahead and do. There we go. Yeah, I'll have one in a second. Now let's go ahead and put these in here. Thank you. Okay, so this is going to be really nice, actually. Let's get more. Let's do 3 and 3. Oh no. My OCD will not allow me to have that one space too far. Wait, Wild Barrel, you learned something? Nice. I'm surprised. That goes in, that goes in. Man, I am on. My puppy is not potty trained yet because we've only had him for a couple days, and I'm super on high alert. Like, I hear anything that's even sounds like something that's sketchy, I get like paranoid. But he's just hiccuping right now. So this goes out, out, out. Yeah, he's been going under the couch. He'll go under there, and he starts barking and stuff. He's playing under the couch. It's kind of cool. He's getting very comfortable in the house. He's going around, like.
You just better not pee under there.
I don't think he will because he can't stand up. Yeah, it'll just be very self-defeating for him to do that. He'd just literally be peeing all over himself.
Hey! Oh my God, he's pooping under there.
Is he?
Yeah.
How?
Oh my God, I got him.
Wait, he literally pooped under there? How did he poop under there?
I got you.
He can't even stand up.
Well, he did it.
Dude. Oh
No,
my
buddy,
God.
This cannot be your poop station.
Guys, he literally crawled under the couch and pooped under the couch.
What are you eating? You're such a
How did he do
troublemaker.
that? That makes no sense.
I don't know.
He must have like pooped while laying down. What a crazy guy.
I caught him mid-poop, so.
You're a former dog trainer. Do I have any questions? I think right now. Wait, what's the limiting factor here? Oh, the hydrogen's not reaching the end to these assemblers. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're trying to reinforce the pooping outside and peeing outside by just basically rewarding him with treats, right? Like every time he poops or pees in the spot we want him to, we give him a treat. And then when if we can catch him about to, we grab him and put him outside and then give him a treat if he goes. I don't know if you know the answer to this. I've heard mixed reviews on like what you're supposed to do when they go inside. Some people say you should kind of punish them, but most people say you shouldn't because like they don't know what you're punishing them for. So I've heard that like positive reward is always way better than negative reward, like negatively punishing. Is that true?
No.
Okay, so this goes this way. Thanks for cleaning that up.
Yeah. Buster. Come on. We're going outside. Come on. Jameson. Let's go.
Okay, so I got hydrogen fuel cells. This is good. This will set us up for a little while. So I guess the next goal is to start setting up infrastructure for sorters. and assembly machines and belts. That's something I can do. So why don't we do this? Well, I don't think I really have time for that tonight because it is already 10 o'clock and I usually stop streaming around now. So I think I'm probably going to call it a night now, everybody. I appreciate those of you that got here in the raid. Feel free to give me a follow and join anytime. I jump on. So Wednesdays are my office hour stream where it's specifically dedicated at least the first hour to questions, but other days I do regular streams where I just play this game. I have a Minecraft SMP server that some students and I play on. We're doing Olympic games on there, so we'll go on there. We do like PvP Olympics. We do races and we keep track of points. And I'm kind of like the moderator / commentator on it. It's pretty fun. So yeah, feel free to stick around, join in anytime. I'm usually on here from about 7 to 9:30, pretty much every day except Sundays. And yeah. Okay, positive reinforcement always yields better results, but when they do something like go potty where they're not supposed to, guide them back to the spot and gently scold them so they have an idea of why they're being scolded. Okay. So it's like a gentle sort of scolding of like, hey, like kind of at least something to let them know this is not good. Makes sense. Yeah, Kosh 9:30. Depends on the game, depends on the day, depends on my energy level. So today I went to like 10. West Coast, yeah. So we're in California here. So yeah, so 6:30 or 7, between 6:30 and 7, I jump on and stream till between 9:30 and 10. And so usually like about 2.5 to 3 hours, sometimes 3.5 hours, depending. And then Saturdays, sometimes it's a little bit longer. I might jump on earlier if I have time and stream for like 4 hours. But yeah, most of the time, it's sometimes we do research, sometimes we watch videos, we talk a little bit about science and play games. Yeah, it's kind of a mishmash, hodgepodge of stuff. But yeah, so Gamer Fox. Let me see real quick. So Gamer Fox, let me just look at who rated me because I don't want to. The Gamer Fox. The Gamer Fox. Okay. Oh, nice. Looks like I'm guessing, based off of the picture, she plays some Dyson Sphere program. She played GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr. Never played that one. What's her schedule? Does she play? Oh, she played Satisfactory. Looks like she comes on every day for a few hours. I don't know. I'll follow her, and if she jumps on again, I'll check her out. I don't know. I'll follow her, and if she jumps on again, I'll check her out. Nice. All right, everybody. Well, have a great night. Enjoy whatever you're up to. Hopefully I see some of you guys around again. Yeah. Good stuff, everybody. Thanks for the help with the game. This is such a complicated game that then the documentation is like kind of not great, obviously because it's, early release, but thanks for the help. Some of you guys are experts. And I guess I'll be calling it a night. All right, everybody. Bye. Love you. Peace. See you later. All of my students out there, thanks for watching tonight. I'll be on tomorrow. We'll do some Olympics. So my goal tomorrow is to probably do a little bit of a Olympics. Jump on there, maybe do the games that we've been postponing. But other than that, I will see you guys when I see